Hello, hello! Are we live? Sorry guys, I thought I was ready and then I realized the light was off. I just got home, I just got set up. I know I'm late, things have been delayed, but we're here. We're live. Welcome. We'll turn the music down, but it's kind of loud. There we go. But yeah, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to Sister Location. It has been a while. Oh, I don't even have the profile pictures ready. I'll leave that for now. How are we all doing though? How are we all doing? Before we begin anything, how are we doing today? Just gonna make sure these are all set correctly. Want to make sure the stream's up and running. Yep. DJ, Creeper, Ethan, Lucy, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm having a bit of a crazy day, but I am pleased to say that this stream is still happening here and now. I haven't eaten since breakfast, so I've got some chili and rice here. Don't mind me munching. Because there will be other people in voice chat today joining with me in collaboration. It's very exciting. Yeah, how are we doing in chat? Potato, Livy, welcome. The return of Mr. Muncher. Yes, Mr. Muncher's back. Mr. Muncher is here. I am munching. I'm just going to cut the music. As much as I love it, the ambient FNaF playlist is playing. I'm going to cut that. We don't need that right now. There we go. I can think clearly now. But yes, hello chat. Hello Stonehenge. Whoever takes the Pandorica takes the universe. Anyway, sorry, that speech is iconic. I've been listening to a lot of Doctor Who stuff lately. But yeah, you kind of missed Sister Location now that you actually think about it. That's interesting, Lucy. Has anyone missed Sister Location? Because this is a game I've streamed extensively, but it has been a while. In fact, I'll pull up the last stream I did if I can, although I need to think of a QOTD. I don't have one. Here we are, though. Today's charity shout-out goes to St. Jude's. I'll talk more about that later. I'll figure out the question as well. But if we go down to the FNaF category, if we scroll through or view all, because there's so many, Sister Location is a game you guys wanted me to revisit. So I essentially did a full playthrough of everything in the game. including the custom night a while ago, and I had some collaborators on for that. But this is a little different. I might add this to the playlist, but this is a little different, guys. This is the last time I'm going to play Sister Location, at least before the FNaF anniversary coming up soon. This is like my send-off to Sister Location. And I was trying to think, what can I do that's unique to Sister Location that I haven't already done, you know, in the last couple of years? And I thought, well, there is one particular challenge, aside from the max mode, that I haven't actually beaten yet. And clues in the title. But there's a little more to it than that. It's very layered. But yes, glad you like the menu theme, one of the biggest hyped games. We're going to talk all about that and more very soon. But yeah, Ethan playing Golden Freddy on all difficulties. Eric, welcome to the stream. Artico, welcome back. Hey, look, it was me on Bro's Steam. Bro's recommendations. Guys, the Artico is always... Where is he? There he is. Bastards. Found him. If I go to my store... The odds of one of these being recommended from Artico is like 40%. It's high. That was Beef Chief. There it is. There it is. Of course. Anything else? Just curious. I never check this. Oh, Flathead, of course. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the stream has layers. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Artistic bros! But anyway, thank you everyone so much for joining. Welcome to Girls' Night. None of my collabs have ever been with an all-female group. Until now. Joining me for my last revisit of SL are Chubbs, Nebula Nexus, and Potato. Here to talk all things FNaF and more, and they will be joining me in a voice call sooner or later. I'm going to call the group now, and I will hopefully have them tagged in the description. Hello. Lucy, hello. You're here. Fantastic. Here we go, chat. Livy, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You guys?
You're very muffled,
you
I
are
have to
muffled,
say.
dude.
You are very quiet.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Hello?
Nope. You're talking
Well,
like it's three towels.
We're just going to figure out our audio issues.
Oh.
But yeah. Oh god. Guys, everyone's profile pictures are like all different sizes, so whenever I replace them, the scaling goes crazy. Some of you have very low-res profile pictures. I'm just saying. You might want to fix that.
I just saw mine jump scare the stream. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we got the Brotato jump scare. But yeah, guys, we got Brotato, aka Tasha, my sister. We got Nebula Nexus 03, aka Livy, my bestie. And we got Crinella, aka Chubbs Deuce, aka Lucy, my girlfriend. And I will have all of their channels linked below for you all somewhere.
Livy's... What was that pizza game you played? That was like the best playthrough I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god, yeah, the pizza thing.
What was that pizza game called? That was so cool.
Why are none of these like bookmarked? They don't appear when I like type into the tab. Come on, man.
Because you have a skill issue.
For real? What? Why is it like? Well, you're all in live chat. I can get your channels from there. But yeah, we got the whole squad of the girls, which is a rare sight when you really think about it. Like, you know, because this is a thing like more broadly in gaming. This is a thing, you know, with the Hydration Nation. There's actually not a lot of girls in the group. But yeah, guys, if you want to find their channels, they'll all be linked below. They've all got a few things going on here. Very exciting. Look at this. I actually hadn't noticed some of what you've uploaded. But before we get into anything, how are we doing today?
Can't lie, I'm quite tired.
Yeah.
That'd be better, but I'm hoping that participating in this stream will lift my spirits. Because I actually was looking really forward to it.
Yeah, I'm glad, because I want this to be special. This is an important one, in my opinion. This is one of the most important streams I've ever done, from a certain point of view. A feminist point of view. I like, it's a big one for me. I'm really excited for this.
When it comes to FNaF games, I think this one and... Oh. Livy?
Sorry.
Is Livy's mic working?
You're
Hello?
so quiet.
Barely. I'm sorry, Livy. Like, are you on the correct like audio output input device?
I don't know.
No.
You're cutting in and out as well, but I think we can hear you.
Ethan's trying to get in on the female thing.
Ethan. Ethan's like, I'm
He's
trying
really
my female
trying.
trust. I have a PFP of a female character. Ethan, man. It's tempting. Guys, come on, let's get Ethan in. But yeah, no, only girls in this voice chat. Wait a minute. Wait.
Hey, listen,
No, it's
listen,
okay. You're an
listen.
honorary woman for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, you're the honorary woman.
I'm honorary woman, chat. Honorary woman, I did it. Pronoun she, her for the next 2.5 hours. Alright.
Government assigned bestie.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, guys, all this stream is going to be is me hanging out with the ladies, playing some sister location, and more specifically, girls' night. It is like one of the only things left which I haven't actually beaten, so we're going to give it a go. Yeah, here we are. I'm just going to get my game capturing set up. For some reason, I'm on night 3. I think the last time I played this was for an Ambience Weekly Challenge or something. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully the audio balance is okay. I'm going to turn the game down a bit. Can everyone hear the people in voice chat?
Discord.
I'll stream to Discord as well, yes. Excellent
Yes, that would be very
suggestion.
convenient.
Just so there's no
Because
latency.
otherwise we're gonna have like a severe echo if we're watching the stream. Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys don't have to watch the stream now, but yeah.
Oh well, in that case. No.
Ethan, that's funny, but let's not go there.
It's nice to catch up.
I'm trying to speedrun night 2. Yes, Artico, that's right. Yeah. But is it audio balance okay? Can you hear everybody?
If you wanna hear voices again, this is why I'm talking now. Hello, just to check the audio. Teehee.
Teehee, audio.
Okay.
Oh, we can hear Libby clearly.
Livy, hello?
Is it working now?
Yes, you're fine now.
Brilliant.
Oh
I'm just
my
gonna
God,
check
yes.
the stream audio for 1 second. I'll be right back. I just want to make absolutely sure. Hold on.
DJ's saying audio's fine.
I just want to make absolutely sure. Hold
Oh, we can hear Libby clearly.
on. Livy, hello?
Is it working now?
If you wanna
I just want to make absolutely sure. Hold
Oh, we can hear
You're
Libby
good.
clearly.
Livy, hello? Alright.
Fallen.
I can relax now. Like, I've settled in, I've done all the setup. I don't, guys, this is only because today's been slightly more stressful than usual, so you might not normally notice, but man, when I finally get to that, like, 20-30 minute mark of the stream and I've got everything set up, oh, finally. Right. This is girls' night. And as a man, I have to be here as the host, but as a man, I'm going to let the other three take center stage for this. Let's just talk. How are we doing, and why are we here? Why are we here, guys? We can speak in whatever order you decide, I guess.
I don't know, why are we here? I'm kidding. This could get very philosophical.
Sibling obligation.
I bully Tash into being here, it's true. She's my sister, so...
That's been consistent since Lazy Bones.
Yes. If you know Lazy Bones, you're an OG.
No, I do actually.
Okay.
But you two speak first. I feel like I have a tendency to yap.
The Yapper. Ooh, I need a question of the day, guys. Any ideas? Any QOTD?
Ethan put it in chat.
Yeah.
Let me see.
How about favorite female deaf character, and why? And then maybe in like brackets, hotness cannot play a factor.
Specifically? Okay.
Yes,
Lucy,
it should not be a factor. Like please, let's.
Okay.
I was genuinely about to jokingly make a joke answer and be like, yeah, so-and-so, because they're hot.
I'm just gonna simplify this a bit, because Ethan, that's a decent QOTD, but it's a bit too specific, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only female-themed challenges are Girls' Night in FNaF 2 and Girls' Night in Sister Location. That's basically it.
I think so.
What is your favourite... What is your favourite female FNaF character and why? And I'm just gonna leave it at that. But as the judge of these QOTDs, yeah, hotness will not be considered.
Yeah, if you say because boobs, I'm gonna that's already gonna count it out because no.
Yeah. Listen, like this.
I'm a boob enjoyer too, but like, how about no?
No, actually, guys, we joke, okay? Because Lucy's making a really good point here about the kind of sexual objectification of women in gaming, and FNaF is sadly not an exception to this, in a very weird way. But also, Lucy has said to me, verbatim, and I quote, "Listen, Matt, something you need to know about me is that I love boobs, okay?" She's a boob enjoyer. I saw some art on Instagram of, like, boobs, tits even, as, like, a warning. And I was like, did you make this? Because I wasn't sure. Yeah, she's the most bisexual person you'll ever meet, Lucy. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, before we even start playing, alright. We'll come back to the QOTD, we'll come back to charity shoutout. Sibling struggles, yes. Okay, fair enough, DJ. I did forget about the ladies' nights in UCN. But ladies' nights, girls' night, whatever you call it.
It's like 3 custom nights and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are variations in UCM, but that's like a difficult terrain if I'm not mistaken.
Ethan, I'm so tempted to pin that message, but I want to respect women today. Guys, I have to stop being sexist today. I have to stop being sexist today.
As a bi woman myself, I give you full permission to, if
Now, that is objectively funny.
Go ahead, man.
Listen, guys. Ethan is a champion of equality, a true egalitarian. Women, trans people, the other one, whatever you are, he doesn't care.
The other one. Jesus.
He loves you equally. Matt tries to be sexist challenge, impossible. Okay, well, this is genuinely a question I wanted to pose to you guys, because I didn't even really think about this until after arranging this thing. As a woman...
I think Creeper just arrived to...
He's just
no,
arrived.
No, Creeper's been here already. No, he's over there.
Artico,
honestly, same Creeper.
Excuse me.
Artico, no.
No.
Alright, but genuinely, guys, I was curious, like... As a woman, is the experience of FNaF, like, different to you in some way?
I've never really given it much thought.
Me neither, not until now.
I think...
I mean, I guess it depends on like how and where you talk, because I feel like a lot of the time when you talk within, I guess, the FNaF fan base, it's usually through text. So it's not like anyone really like pays much attention to someone's like profile in that sense. So I've not really noticed any distinctions in behavior towards me specifically in that regard. But I have noticed sometimes when I'm in places like VR chat, whenever I meet someone that's like in FNaF there, they get super confused when I tell them that I'm into FNaF, because for some reason they assume that girls wouldn't be into that, which is weird.
Literally every fan base, like every online gaming fan base that I...
No, honestly.
SCP is especially bad for it. I know I'm going off topic here, but like anytime
that's a specific
I'm
one,
playing
but
that
yes.
game, I always get the, wait, are you a 12-year-old or a woman? And I'm like, really? Are you fucking serious right now?
SCP Secret Laboratory is like, it's like Rainbow Six or CSGO, one of those like shooter, like fighter games.
Valorant.
That are very heavily dominated by men, but also have a very toxic masculine kind of environment.
The thing is, you say that, there is a large female player base to these games. It just doesn't get talked about that much.
Yeah.
As somebody, I mean, I don't play Rainbow Six or Valorant, or I dabble in CS, but not really. I'm an Overwatch gamer, sadly. But even then, it's like, yeah. Anyway, I've derailed this topic of conversation massively. I'm so sorry.
I just want to ask if Livia had anything to say before I bring up my next question. Yeah.
I just had it where like people have just been like, you like video games, you're weird, and that's about it really. That's just because of where I'm based. I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, this is why all of you are my online friends, and there's only 3 of you I've met in real life, not counting Tasha, because as my sister, like, she doesn't count as a human being, she's like gremlin.
Yeah, I'm subhuman, guys.
Feelings mutual, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just like the gremlin that lives across the hall from me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Okay. you guys just reminded me of something. Does anyone remember that meme of, a girl who likes FNaF? Zooey mama! Wugga wugga wugga.
Yeah.
Eyes pop out of sockets, tongue rolls out and smacks the floor. You remember that one? Yeah?
I definitely, you've made that joke more than once in my presence.
I have.
True.
Alright, yeah. I'm just gonna move to the custom night, page. Because we are just playing custom night today, but yeah, but like, what do we think of that?
I think, I can't remember what you said, but I was gonna say it was, sorry, that sounded a lot ruder than it meant to be, I'm really sorry. I think Sister Location was actually an interesting one, because it was the first, quote-unquote, not female-led, but like, the poster character is very female. Like, very, like,
yeah.
easy to understand it. Like, and
Feminine.
there's more than one female character. It's not just Chica anymore. And I know with, like, Mangle, there's kind of a he-she kind of thing going on there.
So
There's other
Mangle's
characters
gender
that
is
crop
yes. That's canon.
up, but, yeah, exactly. So it's nice to kind of see, like, oh, you've got Ballora, and they have voices, and that's not just the female characters, that's all of them, but I just think it was a really nice sort of addition to the storytelling, just in general. Like, I remember the hype for Sister Location before it came out, all the stuff on Scott Games. You remember the teaser on Scott Games?
Yes,
With, like,
the teasers are iconic.
like,
I'll bring them up on the
yeah.
stream right now.
Just generally as a game, I think for me it was like one of the biggest hyped ones, because it was the point in the FNaF community for me, but I mean, I've never really interacted with the community, like the wider community, that much. It was kind of like, I enjoyed watching Markiplier and 8-Bit Ryan, and I talked to Matt about it, and that would kind of be it. But yeah, it was kind of like, oh, this is very different, and yeah.
Just a random guy. Hello, welcome to the stream.
Was a very cool character.
Yeah.
Anyway, what on earth has happened in chat since they started yapping?
Don't worry about it. The boys are just getting distracted.
Are you good?
See,
oh my god.
Respectfully, at all times, there's like a fraction of a percentage of my brain that's already dedicated to Lucy. So, I don't get distracted anymore. Factually. I do not get... Anyway,
Well, shouldn't you do get distracted? It's just there's a designated place for the distraction to...
There's a place and a time, and it's called My DMs now. No. My DMs tonight. But guys, let's get back on track, because I think it's a really interesting point, Tash. Would you guys say that Sister Location appeals to the girls of the FNaF fan, or appeal to, women more so than men? Compared with other games, at least, like the previous ones in the series.
I wouldn't necessarily say that as like an intentional goal, but I do feel like in like, because I've also noticed is like girls tend to like complex storylines, at least in my experience from the people I've talked to. And when there's like a more obvious storyline, like in Sister Location, that's gonna be more I guess significant, especially when like you said, like one of the poster characters is like a female presenting character in that sense. I definitely love Sister Location as kind of almost like a guilty pleasure. Like, I know it's not that great, it has its flaws, but like it's so iconic. I honestly love it.
It was a turning point in the game series, I think, after FNaF World, because FNaF World was very, people were hot and cold with it. It was like Marmite. Personally, I love FNaF World. I think it's one of the best games that Scott has come out with. I still love it. I've still got it installed on my computer to this day. I'm like, yeah, I'll hop on it every now and then. Every few months I'll be like, yeah, this is FNaF World.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, I would like to add that, if with the community and the individuals in the Hydration Nation and Shrine of Ambience, I've been exposed to a lot of very niche opinions that seem like popular opinions when they're really not. There are very loud minorities in the fandom, and actually, broadly speaking, Sister Location is one of the most popular games in the series. It kind of had its own fandom, I think. There was a whole portion of YouTube songs and animations and all kinds for a while. that were like just based on sister location. Like people who were so into sister location, they barely really regarded the rest of this franchise. They saw it as like its own thing.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting.
No, I agree. I think something about sister location that might also appeal to women more might just be because it has a very coherent color scheme. It's very like a lot of pastels, a lot of like purples and like blues and very pretty lighting.
Yeah.
Maybe at least for me, I find sister location like out of all of the games probably visually the most appealing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Lucy, I'm not sure if that's a girl thing or an artist thing, but interesting.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. That might just be my artist bias.
Yeah.
Pizza Sim's my other favorite for this because again, I think it's the aesthetic. Even just the poster for Pizza Sim, I fucking love it. It's just the artwork.
Yeah.
Is just and it's like you said about complex storylines. It's the other main game with an actual plot that you follow, like an actual storyline that you play through, and it has multiple endings, which is also like great for replay value, I guess. But yeah, I think they're my two favorite. I know I'm a FNaF 2 girly at heart because that was the game that got me into the whole thing. But if I had to pick objectively favorites, I think it would be Pizza Sim, and then it would be Sister Location because of the whole. Like, I mean, they both bring in voice acting. They bring in actual design. The music, the varying gameplay, the music, yes, absolutely, the sound design and the music as well. Like, it just ticks all the boxes. I know the plot and the gameplay for Sister Location was a bit iffy. I remember, I mean, I never played through the full game myself, so I can only really comment on this to an extent, but I remember people talking about, is it Night 4? Where you're in
Sister Location.
Of Sister Location, yeah, sorry, Night 4 when you're in the Springlock suit.
Yes.
I remember there were a lot of conversations about like how didn't Scott put out a patch making it easier?
Yeah, it's one of the weird things about Sister Location is the balancing.
It's the balancing. That's the phrasing for it. Thank you.
Yeah,
but then
I just
think Pizza Sim just hits the nail on the head.
I just wanted to pick up on the fact that for this collaboration, guys, what I did to get these people together is I messaged them all. What are your like top 3 favorite FNaF games? And I tried to create an average to figure out which one I could make the one. But then I thought of Girls' Night. I thought it's Sister Location, because Sister Location's not like none of your like number 1 favorites. Maybe Lucy, but it's like it's high in all of your lists, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
all 3 of
definitely.
you. It's one of your favorites.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I was gonna contest that it's my number 1, but actually, I think you're right. Damn, you know me better than I do.
I think Sister Location is Lucy's number 1. For Tasha, it's what, number 2, number 3? And then for Livy, it's probably number 3.
With the rose-tinted glasses, it's number 3
for me.
Yeah, but it's like it's among the favorites of the girls I know. I just think it's an interesting pattern. I'm gonna go put my dinner plate downstairs and actually start playing the game, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be like 2 minutes.
I'll pick up on my mic. Oh. So
I'm trying to find that list now.
Oh, have you got like a tier list of the FNaF games?
No. Just the top 3. I think it was FNaF 2, FNaF 2, then 3, and then I don't remember what my third one was.
Tier list. Because just fuck it, why not?
Let me find out.
I'm interested to know what your guys' favorite female FNaF characters are and why. As well, because I know chat will inevitably, people in chat will start answering the QOTD at some point, but I'm interested to hear what you two think.
That's a good one. Because like the thing is, for me, like I guess like favorite character, like always has like I have different favorite characters for different categories. Like in terms of story, absolutely Circus Baby, but like in terms of design, I think my favorite, that's a good fucking question. I honestly don't know.
You have to weirdly think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Only the female characters.
Yeah, because they're so limited. I think design-wise, I do have a soft spot for Toy Chica.
Yeah. See, if it weren't just female characters, my favorite design-wise, I think, would be Toy Bonnie, which I think is really interesting.
Just so you guys know, I heard everything. I could hear all that, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
well,
great.
Then you know that we totally shit-talked you just now.
Yeah, totally. Oh my god, oh.
Like, what is that profile picture? It's totally
Men, am I right?
Man. Like, get a life.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at characters now to remind myself of.
Because this is the thing. The Tash, I love you. I love how you directed the stream towards the QOTD to keep the conversation going. That was what I would do. Very smart. Thank you. The Duncan, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Also, blue's the most versatile color in 3D rendering. That's interesting. Just catch up with chat, but yes, DJ is the whole shiver thing. But yeah, the female characters in FNaF, because I am just a total loser who hasn't memorized, I can tell you there are a bunch, and there's more in this game because obviously you've got the Chica variants, but what Sister Location did, which was very unique at the time at least, was break the mold of those 4 characters. Instead of Chica and, to an extent Bonnie, you've got Baby and Ballora. The Biddy Babs, I believe, are also female. The Mini Renas, I think. You've also got Bonnet. Funtime Foxy, I think, is actually here. The pronouns are weird in like between SL and UCN. It's, I don't know.
Non-binary king.
Maybe, yeah. Again, guys, we can get into gender theory with this.
As a broader answer, not to the female characters, just if I could say any character, design-wise, it would be probably Toy Bonnie. Sorry.
Yeah. But in terms of actual female characters, you got the Chicas, Baby, Ballora, JJ,
JJ,
Biddy Bab, DD,
I think for storytelling purposes,
the puppet,
I'm between Ballora and Circus Baby for obvious reasons for storytelling. Design-wise, though, I might get something. I really like Roxy's design.
Oh yeah.
I think just the glam rock characters in general are really cool, and well, the game they're from is
Baby.
best.
I'm not gonna lie, I keep like blocking like security breach out of my brain so hard I keep forgetting it exists.
Same. It's the habit I've gotten into.
But purely for the design, I think all the glam rock,
which is a great design.
Glam rock, Pika, and glam rock.
Yeah, I think Scrap Baby might be my favorite FNaF design of all time, as in the actual like body and just the way she behaves. I mean, like, Scrap Baby's one of the best characters in this franchise. Like, because I'm kind of mixed on like OG Baby. I think she's a bit weird, but Scrap Baby kind of enhanced the positives for me and took away any potential negatives.
No, I agree.
But yeah, they're both great.
Actually, now that you bring it up, I completely forgot about her. I think if I had to pick a favorite design-wise, 100% Scrap Baby. I hear her so many times just because it's such an intricate, interesting design. Like this is just the vibes I get. She feels kind of like the like failed prom queen having a mental crisis kind of vibe,
Like neuron activation right now happening.
Okay.
Oh, what is it? What's that film called where a girl she's in a prom dress and she gets covered in blood? There's some, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's iconic and I've never seen it.
I know the image you're going for, I just don't fucking know the movie.
It's Harry?
Exactly.
Or am I thinking of the wrong...
Alright, I'm gonna actually start playing the night now. It's been a while, but I think I can remember how this goes. I could just sit here and just talk with you guys the whole stream without even playing the game, honestly. But I need to remember how this works. Hello, Bonnet. I literally could see her. Yeah, let's see if I can remember how to play this.
In terms of gameplay mechanics, I really like Ballora. I like that whole auditory sort of...
Oh, shit.
It makes a change.
I remember how to play this.
Because there are some audio cues in the earlier games, but you rely on them less. Like Freddy in FNaF 1, like in Night 5, when his laughs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I like how they build on that using sound with Ballora. I just think.
No, I agree. I really like that.
Yeah, we can talk about game mechanics and story.
Where she talks to you and stuff.
Also, just like not to be bisexual on main for a second, but
oh, here we go.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Oh my god. Oh, this is totally unrelated, but you would love the earrings I'm wearing.
Bisexual on main.
I kind of want to show you them because they made them. but it's very unrelated to the stream.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I mean, there's had to let that one out, did you? There is something else that we can talk about as well,
I don't know why these were what I wore today, but they are. But yeah,
I can't look them now, but I will. Wait. Oh my god, dude. I'm tripping out here.
Rose tripping.
The fucking melody.
I've been ready for Foxy to go for ages.
Laura's, lullaby. Is it a lullaby? I guess the melody.
Yeah, you know what?
Was it Leon Riskin that did the music?
Leon Riskin composed this.
Genius, man. What a legend.
It's called Crumbling Dreams, I believe.
Yes, Crumbling Dreams.
Because he also did that piece that was in...
There's also the thing she sings, which is different again.
The cutscene when Fazbear Fright burns down. The cutscene.
Yeah.
Yes,
I just had that up on the playlist when I was starting the stream.
Really?
It's called Demolition Inevitable. I think it's referring to Fazbear Frights being demolished, but also it's kind of metaphorical. It's about how, you know, Fazbear's, the Afton family, they were kind of destined to be destroyed. There's a lot you could read into that.
You know what? Like, honestly, everything Leon Riskin did for the FNaF series is, like, ingrained in my brain. The soundtrack is so freaking good. It's so atmospheric, so iconic. It has, like, certain musical themes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, okay, our brain is, like, going ADHD mode. Coffee. One like small fun fact about myself, I have one specific Sister Location DLC soundtrack as on my sleeping playlist because I like falling asleep to music, and Forbidden Nocturne is one of them. That's the one that I always listen to go to sleep. And for some reason it is so weirdly soothing. It's got the faint, far away, echoey like music box, just like, and because there's so much reverb on it, it doesn't feel sharp. So it's like, it's very soothing. And then there's the rapid clicking, like a camera wheel, like a film reel, and there's like the atmospheric, almost like crumbling sound of like, it sounds like somewhere like a glacier is like falling apart and it's like into the ocean. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like all of that is weirdly soothing.
I already know Ethan's listing out the trivia and shout the title tracks and stuff.
That is really music.
It's just so interesting, like how the fuck does a song, like a piece of soundtrack from a horror game make me feel so at peace that I fall asleep to it? It's just funny.
I just can't help but think, man, another good reason to sleep with Lucy. Like, let's get in on some of those tracks, boys. I've never gone to sleep listening to that. I want in on that. Listen. Chat, hear me out.
Brother.
Oh god.
Come on, I've slept with her before. It's not weird.
That's true. We have slept in the same bed before.
Yeah, like, calm down, guys. We're in a relationship. Oh.
Yeah, chill out.
Valora didn't like that. Valora did not like that. Alright, but guys.
I consent. Did you forget to ask?
Yeah, no, if Valora doesn't consent to me and Lucy, then nothing's happening, boys. That's just the law. It's because it's Lucy's favourite game, Valora's the guardian angel. Anyway, but like, honestly, Leon Riskin, something again about this game that was special is that this was the first canon, serious, like full-on horror FNaF game, you know, as opposed to FNaF World, where Leon Riskin was doing the soundtrack. We had like an actual composed soundtrack, we had dedicated voice acting, we had dedicated art. Like, this game was the first that did that. FNaF World and FNaF World Update 2 was kind of like a precursor, but this was the first game with the new kind of production that kind of expanded beyond just Scott doing a one-man show.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels, you know.
I am honestly so glad that he decided to do that, to go with like voice acting, to go with a new composer and all of that. It's just genuinely so good. It did the series so much good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just making sure I'm not missing too much in chat. But yeah, absolutely agree about Scrap Baby.
Very active today.
Yeah, again, FNaF, I want to talk about gender and sexuality more broadly with FNaF. I know this is very weird, and it's like, Matt, why are you making it queer? But I did a history module on this, and it's on my brain, okay?
Valid.
There are animatronics, which are, you know, presenting, male or female presenting, as like one gender, where the spirit possessing is another. Is that like a male or female character? Both? It's kind of weird. Because you're right, Ethan, the puppet was a he until the retcon that, you know, Charlotte Henry's daughter from the books in the game universe was possessing her, which was great choice, excellent writing decision. But like, to me, I felt the puppet always felt like it wasn't a very gendered character, so it didn't feel weird to switch that in my brain. Like, normally when you have a character who's established, perhaps, you know, is one gender implied, and they have to like change it because of like a retconning canon, it might feel weird, but this one didn't feel weird. It felt natural to me.
Yeah, no, same. I agree. There's nothing like inherently masculine or feminine about the puppet.
No.
Yeah,
And-
I think they're deliberately a very kind of genderless character because that's kind of what they are. I mean, a marionette puppet at its core
Really, Ethan? Oh, I didn't know that.
quite a sort of ambiguous shape. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
interesting.
Ethan's
Okay,
right, that
actually,
even
you know,
you see
Ethan,
it.
huh?
To me though, the puppet. When I think the puppet, I think of Charlotte and her relationships with the other characters and her story. So it feels weird to call the puppet a he.
Calls it a he.
But like he, they, she,
okay.
whatever. You know, whatever. I gotta learn when Ballora's actually in kill range. And that's the only thing I really struggle with from this night.
FNaF lore.
God, do we want to
Because
talk lore? Is
isn't-
it too early?
I feel like I'm gonna get. I'm not shouting that, that's a bit harsh. But I feel like people could be like, how do you not know this? It's
This
like,
is a
I've been
tolerant
Five Nights
space.
at Freddy's for a few years.
I'm here to
So
help.
the puppet.
Lucy
so,
said that.
correct me if I'm wrong, but what you've been saying is the puppet, as in
My
the
bad.
physical animatronic, is a he,
Well, before it was possessed, it was a he, wasn't it?
but the spirit is. Star?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But just
yeah.
because she's possessing it doesn't
Okay.
mean the character is now a he, is it? Because when the
Yeah,
when the
she
kids
knows.
are looking at
She
the
and
puppet,
is a he.
when
Right,
Farron's
got it.
Friendstone employees are talking about the puppet and, you know, organising, yeah, it's, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not like they can know what kind of gender the spirit in them is.
right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that would be weird, especially since they're children.
It's interesting.
irrelevant.
Because with the original Five Nights at Freddy's characters and the spirits, we kind of just assume that the female one is the one that inhabits Chica, and I'm pretty sure that is the case anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scott Cawthon just
I
wrote
saw
that, I
everything.
think.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah. I find it interesting that that's the assumption made, even though that it is true. But I don't think we knew that from the beginning.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I think the only confirmation we really ever got was her voice lines in UCN.
Yeah. And then if you count the
Attributes.
film, I guess the film, but that's a different canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a grey area. That's a whole other ballpark. I don't know if people want to talk about that or not.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of consider everything that is like outside of the game, like everything that isn't a game, part of, I guess, their own canons or separate canon, or like only vaguely canon, in the sense that like there's parallels in the narrative that you can maybe draw inspiration from to construct the storyline of the games, but they're not like necessarily factual to the games as they are, you know, like there's some interpretive interpretation that you need to do.
Yeah.
It's the same with the novel trilogy, for example. Like when I'm constructing my theories, I kind of cherry pick from that, because a lot of it's just not fucking applicable, since it's a completely different canon that's clearly turning a lot of concepts on its head.
Ooh,
Livy, what do you
interesting what's going on in
think?
chat at the moment. I'm sorry.
I don't know, specifically about the puppet, or is it...
Just about the lore, because you all know my views on it already. Lucy and Tasha have spoken. I'm just curious what your like
Like I've
perspective
unleashed the
is.
beast.
Oh...
It was gonna come up sooner or later.
I don't know, I don't really tend to dive into the lore too much, I just
That's
like to enjoy
respectable.
the games for the
That
games.
is so fair.
Like,
Yeah.
I like trying to understand the lore, it's like,
It's a headache.
oh boy, that's a lot.
It is a bit like pulling teeth, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
no.
over the years.
FNaF canon's such a mess now that like I just choose to believe my own things about it, because I
Yeah.
think like that officially there's so little clarity on anything. There's so little clarity on anything that it's like it's not reliable. Because the thing is, Scott Cawthon's never actually explicitly stated, oh, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is actually canon, guys. And it's like, if you try and have any
Yeah.
consistent logic with like assumptions or non-assumptions or kind of you know, following like what Scott Cawthon said, it just takes you in circles. It's just completely broken. I think it doesn't matter. The thing is, it really doesn't matter. I think your enjoyment of these games' story and narrative implications is such a subjective experience because of how vague and mysterious they are, that it's not worth trying to establish any kind of fact about it anymore. There's simply nothing people can agree on.
Yeah.
You know what, Artico? You say that as a joke, but actually, I think I need to enable loudness equalization, because Ethan has correctly pointed out that really, the only mechanic I've historically struggled with in this mode is Ballora and telling when she's close enough. She did not sound that close that time. Usually there's a massive volume increase, and I didn't detect it, and I think it's because oh no, I do have loudness EQ. I guess I'll switch it off. See if that helps. It was on. I felt this is going to make it harder. We'll see. Freddy was in the dark room. Well, yeah, Freddy's not here, guys. No fretting. It's time for ladies to lay these nuts down. I retract that statement. Guys, please talk about something else. Guys, girls even. Ladies. Oh my god. I was going to talk about something, I forgot what it was. There's so many things we could talk about with this game. Hello? Oh wait, why can't I hear you? What the hell? I thought it was a bit quiet. Hold on, you guys are muted? Do I need to turn loudness EQ back on? Hello?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, for some reason I couldn't hear you. Let me just test something.
interesting.
Speak. Oh, what the hell?
Hey.
Okay.
Brother, you can
enabling-
only hear me.
Enabling or
Real
disabling
well, so-
enhancements just mutes my audio. I just get deafened. Sorry about that. What were you guys saying?
I don't think we were saying anything really. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think we were.
Yeah,
After-
I think honestly, I'm not even sure when you stopped hearing us, so...
It was only a few.
Yeah.
It was
Hard
only a
to
few
say.
seconds ago.
Yeah, then we didn't really say anything that you didn't hear.
Alright. Let's talk about the real questions, guys. Artico, he's out here asking the real questions. Cardingo says, since Lobit isn't in the preset, does that mean Lobit is a trans male version of Funtime Foxy?
Sorry, what?
Okay.
Is
Lobit.
Lobit non-binary?
I would say, I'm not gonna lie, considering
I
that
think,
Lolbit isn't even the real, like, character and more of, like, a gimmick concept, I would actually, with confidence, say that Lolbit is genderless.
Yeah, they're one of those characters that's really like the puppet. I would say. I mean, I know we've established the puppet as a he, but in the way they're presented in their design, they look very ambiguous.
You know,
Although,
it's
that
funny.
being said,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I find it really interesting that the Biddy Babs are considered female, but Electrobab isn't. But both of the mini arenas are considered female. I want to know where the distinction
I
is.
dunno.
Not that that matters in the slightest.
The male
I just find it really
Electrobab has
interesting.
electric powers in the natural
Wow.
habitat. Well, guys, Lolbit has no pronouns in the description. It just says Lolbit instead of them.
Exactly.
It's like
Oh,
it's like Shadow the Hedgehog has no pronouns. Shadow the Hedgehog rejects having pronouns. Like you remember? Does you remember that what's it? The Schlatt video? Not Schlatt. Who am I thinking of? The Sonic dubs, but not the fan dubs.
Snapcube.
No, not Snapcube. It's someone else. It's. Anyway, they did these funny videos.
Because I like trying to lose powers.
Shadow the Hedgehog being an unintentional ally is just class.
It's a bit like the Meep if you've watched Doctor Who.
But yeah, it's just the Lolbit.
because the Meep goes by the Meep rather
The
than
Lolbit does not use
she,
pronouns.
they, whatever. Season.
But on this point, I want to bring something up that I just think is kind of weird and kind of interesting, and it's like, this is obviously a huge thing in culture now, but when FNaF started, it really wasn't quite as much. It was sort of emerging. Gender and sexuality in the FNaF games. Obviously, they're robots haunted by children that are also kind of dressed up as animals in most cases, so it's very weird. But it's like, how how does like representation stuff go? Because like for a game of this caliber made by a person from that background, it's very weird how much queerness it has attracted. Like it's quite unusual, and I just think that's interesting. Lol self. Yeah.
Lol/bit.
Like, okay, so we got female trans non-binary characters. Have we got any gay characters in FNaF or bi characters? Lucy, who's carrying your bi spirit in the game?
Hey, you know what? I actually have a hot take about that.
Oh my god, no, Lucy.
I actually have a fucking hot take.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, I love analyzing the characters. One of my favorite things about FNaF is dissecting the characters in a cute detail. And one thing that I would find funny, I don't necessarily think it's canon in any capacity, but I think it would add some flavor to the plot. If you consider, like, if you look at the novels and...
Are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say? Come on. I think I know what she's gonna say, chat.
If you look at William's, like, little diary thingies and how obsessed he was with Henry. I'm sorry, there's just no straight explanation for this.
There's no straight explanation.
This man is a closeted bisexual and processed it so fucking poorly.
The entire series happened because William Afton was a closeted gay. Lucy, 10 out of 10. That's a top tier.
Listen, not gay. Not gay. Listen, I think this man was full of like properly bisexual. Like he was married with the woman. There's no way he didn't care about that. You know, he had several children.
Okay, all right, okay.
But like, I think especially because I also have this idea of him like. To explain in the novels at least, where he's like so terrified of death. I think he's afraid of going to hell, and that's what he's avoiding by like trying not to die. The consequences for his actions. Obviously, that's like what he's always doing, running away from it. And so I think he had like a very Christian upbringing, and it's haunting him. And I think he would never consider that what he feels about Henry would be romantic in any capacity. It's just weird and obsessive, and he doesn't know that that's what that is. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Also, to add some context to that, I swear, correct me if I'm wrong again, I'm very rusty on this. At least in the books, am I right in saying that Charlie is from Utah?
Everything happens in Utah.
Southern,
yeah.
Like it's all from the southern part of North America.
Yeah, they're
Which
all,
kind of has that
in
stereotype of being less tolerant for gay people and different gender identities and everything, basically the LGBTQ.
It's complicated because you have to get into the history, but yes, so both games and books are set in Utah.
Context to that, if we're going
FNaF 1, Pizza Sim, the original Freddy's, the original Fredbear's, it's all in Utah.
Yeah.
I think there's a different state for some of the stuff. In the second or third book, but I can't remember.
The homophobia there, especially back in like what, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Like that's not a good time to be gay.
Yeah. Also, I just think, also considering again, like William had wife and children, I think he would full on just think like, well, I like women, so clearly I can't be.
He would say that.
He just isn't a thing in his mind. It just does not exist. So he's like, oh yeah, obviously I'm into women, so I cannot be gay, and just completely doesn't even understand that there's like a second option we could be into both.
Also, chat, look at these character designs and tell me it isn't the gayest thing you've ever seen. Like,
oh no,
I'm kidding.
Creeper said in chat about apparently Glamrock Freddy and Bonnie were confirmed gay in Learn. So
I wouldn't know about that.
I kind of don't care.
Also makes where is it?
This is the thing. It's like
which
obviously
that's really funny to
in universe with like the actual horror story of FNaF, like, you know, the only one who could possibly have romantic or sexual feelings would be Springtrap because he's the only like adult. Like all of them are like way like.
Yeah,
you see when they were killed. There's no logic to that, but I think like there's a lot of fun headcanons for the characters like unpossessed as they are, like as like cartoon characters in the fanbase, and that's where all this like sexuality and gender discussion comes in, and it really is very light and for fun because it's mostly young people kind of indulging in this and just sort of taking the piss out of like stereotypes and kind of, you know, queerphobia and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's interesting that that's a part of FNaF. Unfortunately, it does have a very ugly side, which we don't have to talk about, but...
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, so I delivered my hot take. Carry on.
Yeah, hot take gone, carry on. But yes, yes, Artico. I don't think there's, like, any serious in-universe explanations that go in deep with this. Although, I say just Springtrap, and I'm not encouraging anything here, but the parallels between Ballora and Mrs. Afton have always been pretty interesting, haven't they? Just from a narrative point of view. And Henry, perhaps with some other characters.
I am definitely a Ballora equals Mrs. Afton believer.
Oh, yeah,
fight me on it.
There's just no reason not to. It makes perfect sense.
With you. And especially, because, yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say now. I've completely blanked.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. This is a common occurrence for me.
It's true, I can confirm.
It was something about Laura.
Honestly, Artico.
This is the inattentive side of the ADHD kicking in.
Is there a lore reason why Afton gave us some giant bazongas?
Oh god.
Can you let her finish?
Sorry, I was just reading chat.
No,
yeah, but there's a time and place.
It'll come back to me, don't worry.
God dang it.
No,
yes, sides.
It's just like when someone else is talking, like maybe you should not read out in chat, even if it's like for the moment relevant. Like wait for the person to finish talking.
I thought she was finished. I'm sorry.
To be fair, I'd already said on sentence. Guys, it's okay. It's really not that big.
It's Lucy. It's fine. Like Tasha does this all the time.
Sticking up to me, Lucy, though.
Oh, I'm just being dramatic for the shits and giggles. It's fine.
Mr. Foundational, welcome to the stream.
Loves to talk.
Now I want to hear you guys talk though. I yap enough. It's my stream. It's your turn to talk.
What the fuck was I gonna say?
We were talking about like Ballora and that stuff. If that helps.
Mrs. Afton?
Yeah, it was something to do with her being made in his wife's image. I just don't know where that point was going.
Oh, the song?
It'll come back to me.
Is it about the lore in the song? Because it kind of implies that's like where this theory comes from.
Wasn't, but that's
it's what she sings on night 2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I'm playing the custom night. We can talk about the main game.
Yeah.
Does his wife die or does she leave him?
We don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
Personally, I mean, I don't think we have any confirmation for anything. My personal theory is, like, after Circus Baby ate Elizabeth, there's just no way you can hide the fact that like your child's just gone all of a sudden. And I think he might have like panicked but was already at this point convinced that his little invention with the scooper and stuff worked in transferring like someone's spirit into a machine. And like from one machine to another, and so maybe he thought, oh, you know what, like I can basically make her immortal. It's not so bad if I kill her, right? And then, you know, probably did that.
Can't tell anybody if she's, you know, several hundred feet underground.
And considering that like maybe they already had like various fights and weren't doing so great in terms of relationship, and so nobody would really question it if she just randomly disappeared along with his child. Like he would have an alibi then, like, oh, you know, like we had a big fight and she took her daughter and left, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. The thing about Sister Location is that I find it really interesting that the characters, the animatronic characters, sound so much more like people than how you would imagine an animatronic would. And I feel like that's something that is particularly highlighted in this game more than the others. I mean, in UCN and what am I even yapping about? They all kind of sound human, but I feel like it's the most jarring in this game because it's the first time we hear that.
I was gonna say, Tash, do you remember Baby's voice in FNaF World?
She speaks in FNaF World?
Update 2, right at the end.
Oh man, I'm out of touch.
The show will begin momentarily. And the thing is,
yes!
Heather Masters said in an interview with Dorco, like, she did 3 takes of like robotic, slightly robotic, and not robotic at all. and Scott Cawthon chose the least robotic version of her voice for Baby.
Yeah. And I think
and she thought that was really odd.
Choice. I think it's really odd, but it's also really clever because obviously she is a robot, but there's also that human aspect about all of them, but especially with Baby because she's a child.
And she's like more aware and conscious.
And she's more, yeah, she's been there a long time and she's sort of grown this awareness.
Yeah, although I would argue,
to her voice.
Although I would argue that like by the time we meet her in game, she is as human in terms of like sentience as she is robotic, because especially with Scrap Baby later, like I feel like her coding took over. Like this robot was made to kill. I don't think a little girl would have the desire to kill anyone. So I think her the coding of Baby like tainted the soul, I guess, and took over. So now she's like a mix of both.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying she's not. I'm. Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. I just find it interesting that the animatronics still have that amount of humanity, even if it's just in their voice and not necessarily their actions. But there's that constant, and this isn't just Sister Location, it's across all of them. There's that constant sort of fight for soul versus programming.
Yeah. It manifests differently, and it's really interesting. Like in the earlier FNaF games as well, 1 to 4, the animatronics do technically speak, but just not in the way you'd expect. Bonnie and Chica have that groaning sound, Freddy laughs, Foxy has his horror. Mangle has a radio. But like with Funtime Freddy in Sister Location as well, these were like pre-recorded sound effects or like ghostly things going on. I think I was gonna run out of power there anyways, but that was close. But yeah, it's but this game brought that to life in a more direct way than had been done before, and it was very interesting because it sort of blurred the lines between what's the voice of the character that the brand owns and what's the voice of the human being possessing it. I was 2 seconds from winning? What?
Oh my god.
Sorry, Ethan, did you count? 2 seconds?
Dude, that's rough.
Oh.
Whoever counted that, you legend.
I'm sorry, I'm just, that blows
honestly.
my mind because I thought it would take me ages to beat this, if at all, this stream. But somehow coming to it fresh after months of not playing, I feel like I'm doing way better than I was. This does not feel very hard. Like this didn't feel that difficult, and I don't know why. I'm not particularly rested or prepared for this.
Maybe it's just the company.
Lucky charms. This is why, guys. You need to collect some females for your nights at Freddy's. The reason FNaF players struggle is because they got no bitches. That's what's going on.
Oh, bro, it's like you were talking about in the car.
What was I saying in the car?
You were like, oh, how come we get no bitches? And I was like, you should ask Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy, why do I get no bitches? What's up with that?
Huh?
I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, just catch up with chat. FNaF News Reporter, welcome.
Yeah, what's going on?
Damn, Ethan, that's incredible that you can tell to the second based on that. I'm just going to keep throwing attempts at this, guys. If we beat this, there's only one other mode left in the game. Or 2, I guess, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
The hours change at certain points in Belora's musical.
Excuse me.
What do you mean by that, Ethan?
He'll explain. It's a technical thing.
I had a feeling it was going to be some technical thing.
The dude can tell how many seconds are left in a FNaF 4 night based on the ambience. This guy's cracked.
Yeah. The fact that you can be just watching along and pick up on that is really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know
crazy,
about
honestly.
Because that's something I probably wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't been pointed out.
Also, yes, Duncan, like, you know what I've always found weird about Ennard? It's a he, despite mostly being made of sheets. Just kind of a weird thing. And Ennard is basically piloted by Baby / Elizabeth, so. But then you got Molten Freddy, and wow, it's a whole other story. Ah, she's singing. Funtime Freddy effect. Anyway, But yeah, like Heather Masters, Kellen Goff, Christopher McCullough. Who's the voice of Ballora? They all did such a great job.
Michelle something?
Oh yeah, Michelle something. I forgot her last name. But it was definitely Michelle something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always really liked Ballora, to be honest. She's always been a very unique like character. Like a lot of idiot fans like, oh, woman bazoingas, but like actually.
No, yeah.
Like I think the design's a little weird, but to be honest, when you're thinking about a, you know, entertainment venue in the 80s with a ballerina character, I don't think it's that far removed from reality. I think what's far removed from reality is the technology.
Also, I think just in general, like Scott's personal style is a little off sometimes. He's not the most anatomically well-versed artist.
Yes, yeah, it's Afton. That's all that needs to be said about that. Michelle Moss, that was it. Thank you, Creeper, thank you. Yeah, Michelle Moss. I watched all the FNaF show interviews back in the day, so it was nice to spend time with these guys and get to understand some more behind-the-scenes stuff that we didn't get in the Scott interview. Because they talked about a bunch of things. Michelle Moss actually like has arachnophobia, I think, which is quite funny when it comes to the fact that Ballora's movement is always either graceful, pirouetting on, like, you know, rails, or crawling like a spider across the ceiling. Like, but I like that duality of, like, as soon as she's off the rails, it's just... I mean, look at the thumbnail as well. That jump scare, the faceplate's open, is so iconic. I really like how her eyes are, like, undersized. It's really creepy.
Also, can we quickly mention, this isn't anything to do with the gameplay, but more to do with the lore side of things. The Immortal and the Restless, what a brilliant idea.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god,
storytelling. I only mentioned this because I was looking up, so I didn't see Cooper's message until after.
By the way, there's in my mind, there's no way that isn't an allegory about how William's fucking marriage went.
Oh, 100%. That's absolutely what it is. But I forgot that it's Christopher McCullough that voices Wad. Clara, the baby isn't mine. Legend. It's not a minuscule detail, but it's very separate from the rest of the story. That it kind of stands out in its own little way, and I just think it's really interesting that Scott's managed to, as well as having the main plot, have this little like sort of bit of context for a pre-existing character.
Yeah,
in a really clever, because purely through the use of color and metaphor, because Vlad's wearing a purple suit. And that's all you need. It's really simple, but it's
very clever because it fills in on some deep lore and backstory, which is kind of needed, but doesn't really fit in with the main events of the game. But simultaneously gives some insight into Michael Afton at this moment in time, like, because that's his comfort show. Like, why is that what he chooses to watch? You know, there's a lot of theories you can make of that. It's just location. Love it or hate it, I think it did have a lot of the richest storytelling in the series at the time.
It's kind of like the
it laid some foundations.
UCN cutscenes.
UCN really
the UCN cutscenes are
made up some of this game's like failings in that department.
They're a whole other thing again. Yeah. Goddamn, the like anime style, Freddy and Foxy thing.
Oh yeah,
I love that one. The Chica one's a bit weird.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I hated that one especially. Just for the art style, I despised the art for that. I'm not gonna lie.
The Pizza Sim art was better.
Which one? Both.
Specifically the fucking the stupid like anime ninja one. That one I did.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't like the Chica. Was it Toy Chica but high school years or something?
Yeah.
Every time I saw those cutscenes, I would just like cringe.
No, it is extremely cringy. However, I do think it actually tells us a lot about William's mindset while he was like doing his little experiments. Clearly, he was after a goal and kept trying by like kidnapping kids. And every time the results were unsatisfactory, like he did not get out of that what he wanted and needed to know. Yeah. And so he kept trying, but he started getting like more like reckless about it. As Chica, for example, like keeps like getting cheaper and like worse and worse excuses to invite the guys over that she's like trying to
because Afton's work gets sloppier.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's so. I'm sorry, it's just kind of wacky to me when people say like, oh yeah, he was like a total sadistic killer. I think he exclusively killed out of practicality because he was desperately trying to, like, I guess make himself and maybe his family immortal.
Yeah, I'm just looking at chat as well. So Creeper said, yeah, so that's evidence that Foxy is William Afton, trust. And then Artico's gone, I think Tojika in the UCN anime is actually Afton, trust. Yeah, no, you're
trust,
Artico,
guys,
you are
trust.
right.
Source me.
Tojika is William Afton confirms. Jesus Christ.
Livy, you still here? Because I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, you
I'm gonna make sure you're okay.
Quiet.
Your mic's not having issues.
All good. Just making sure you're not like you didn't just like fucking die on us, you know?
No.
Yeah. Livy, what's your favourite thing about Sister Location? Anything we haven't talked about yet?
I don't know. I haven't really played Sister Location. I've only seen like
You've never played it?
playthroughs of it on YouTube.
And I've also never played it, so.
Well, this is another thing that's common in FNaF specifically. There are a lot of fans who've never even played the games. They've only watched YouTube playthroughs because it's got a very specific popularity in that culture. How much of this game have you guys actually played?
Of Sister Location?
Plays none.
So Lucy's never played it. Livy's never played it. Let Tasha.
I have played some of it. I've played night 1 through... I think I did up to night 3, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not doing night 4.
That's
I don't have
unfortunate.
the balls for that.
Night 4 is very difficult. It's really poorly balanced, the difficulty curve of this game. It's all over the place.
I think I played some... I don't think... Actually, no. I don't think I have played Custom Night. No. But I did play it at the first few nights.
Yeah.
I just
Tash,
remember you made me play FNaF 1, and I hated it.
Sorry,
to this
but
day,
that was...
it's still, like, I can watch other people play it and have no problem. But playing it myself? No. That shit is terrifying. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
FNaF 1 retains its horror value when you play it yourself. For me personally, I mean, people like Ethan probably are unfazed by it.
Because they're used to it. No, same.
Yeah,
See, I'm a huge pussy. The only FNaF game I ever actually played was FNaF 1 up to night 6. And I tried the first night of FNaF 2 and I was so fucking overwhelmed and scared. No, never again.
Yeah.
I also am one of those people who exclusively consumed FNaF content through playthroughs. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
Markiplier all the way for me, personally.
Yeah, like Livy, would you agree that the reason you haven't actually played Sister Location is because it's too scary?
I don't know, because the thing is with the FNaF games, like when I first actually started playing them, like I think it was the FNaF 2 mobile demo I first played. I would sit with Noah and play it because I was too scared to sit and play it by myself, and he was kind of like interested in FNaF, so it's like, yeah. But yeah, I think like once you get past the first few jump scares, it's kind of like, oh, this is okay. But I think the reason I've never played Sister Location is just purely like money, because like I don't like have the money. I know it's probably not that expensive, but I don't have the money to go like buying all the FNaF games, that kind of thing.
No,
so
I understand.
The free ones.
I'd say it's probably
that's
worth the
fair.
money. They're all the same price. They're about a $5, but yeah.
Especially growing up, though, like when you're an adult and you have your own income, it's very different. But when you're growing up with this kind of games, and they, even a few pounds is like you just can't afford it, and it's
I would buy probably more games this summer if I had the money. But even with the sales, like I didn't want to be irresponsible because I wanted to pay for it. We're not here to talk about that. I was also... Sorry, Tash, go on.
No, that's okay. I don't mind. It wasn't related.
I was just going to say I've got another conversation topic in mind that we haven't touched on yet. Two things, actually. You reminded me of something, what you said about your time playing FNaF 1. So, Tash, when I played Sister Location for the very first time, it was the first time I played a FNaF game on release, and you were there with me. It was us two sat down together in Sam's caravan,
Oh my god, yeah!
And at the time, the name Mr. Afton in the intro, that meant nothing to me, because I didn't know about the books yet.
Yeah.
I found out through MatPat's video, like, a couple weeks later.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Because, like, everyone was like, who the fuck's Mr. Afton? And everyone was like, oh, you know?
And that's when I decided that I needed to read the books. That's when I got Silver Eyes, so I was like, hang on, this is actually important. So I got the trilogy, and I don't regret it. But...
I remember reading your copies of the Silver Eyes and all those books when I was in school, and I'd bring them into school because me and all my dorky friends would sit in the library at lunch when we were like 14. It was specifically year 9. We'd always sit and eat up. We weren't supposed to eat in the library, but we would hide behind the shelves and eat our lunches and read books as a group. Like we'd all just be reading our own books, but it was great. Yeah. We later discovered the joys of musical theatre and kind of came out of our shells a bit. Not the point. But I remember bringing in the Silver Eyes, and they were all just like, "What are you reading?" And I was like, "Oh,
funny bear game."
Oh, you see,
and they were reading like fantasy books and like all kinds of like fucking. Oh, I'm trying to think of the names of books. I don't know if anyone will know them, but like, you know, like A Court of Thorns and Roses and Thorn Glass, like those kind of books, like the young adult fantasy fiction,
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all your like stereotypical. They're an elf, oh, they're a princess, oh, they're a kind of and light kind of thing. With, yeah, magic and shit.
Fun fact, actually, I actually read the entirety of the FNaF trilogy via audiobook exclusively. And I did most of that while I was at work, because at the time I was still doing my apprenticeship in logistics, and a lot of my job at the time was just counting screws, basically, for hours. And so having that in the background was really nice, and I don't regret ever reading those books, although I'm not gonna lie, they were so mid that I would not, like, go out of my way to read them again.
Yeah. The only reason I ever reread the books was for lore. Like, just so I had the quotations, so that when I was doing theories I could cite them. Like, that was the only reason. I've read all the books twice, I never need to read them again.
Really
they are not good.
I've not read them in a long time. The Silver Eyes was decent, and then it just kind of got a bit derailed with each
Although
book.
I'm not gonna lie, I think the Silver Eyes, I think the Silver Eyes pissed me off the most plot-wise, just because why the fuck would this man fucking go and kidnap the fucking and just only to brag about how much he knows about Springlocks? That's so dumb.
Forced exposition, go brr. Yeah, Silver Eyes is not great, but it was a good starting point. The expectations weren't high anyway.
To me,
this might be over.
To me, Silver Eyes felt like they were given certain points that Scott wanted to dig into, and like you can sometimes tell which parts Scott wrote himself and added way more detail to, and which parts were exclusively like really shallow and obvious plot devices. It was kind of frustrating. Also, the fact that we never got any proper like character, I guess, descriptions was confusing.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure we never actually got like any design details from Marla.
God, no. I thought Marla was black, but I just remember seeing art, and that might not have even been official. And her
don't
was it
remember.
Marla Lamar
Was
and
it Carlton who was the cool one?
brother Jason.
The one who was the police officer's kid.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Carlton is the saving
really
grace
cool.
of the trilogy. And he's
No,
absent
he's the fucking
from
MVP.
Twisted Ones, which is why it's the worst book.
It was the whole like, was it the Springlock thing in the first one?
I think I'm pretty
He's
sure
the
it was the
one.
first one because I'm sorry, it's so fucking. Why the fuck would you kidnap the police chief's son only to brag about Why?
Yeah,
What purpose did that serve? Why did he come out of hiding just to do that? It makes no sense. It makes me so mad.
Yeah. I'm worried that the FNaF movies are going to go in the exact same direction based on how Afton's presented in the third act, because it's exactly like Silver Eyes. Like Lillard's Afton is like almost exactly like Silver Eyes Afton, especially if you read the graphic novels. Just catch up with chat. Yeah, Artico, I was about to say, I don't think I ever made the mistake of bringing FNaF stuff to school. The only conversations I can remember about FNaF at school were people kind of mocking it and lumping it in with Minecraft as kind of cringe.
Oh, see, I had a very different experience from that. I mean, I was mocked and outcast anyways, but like, people didn't even fucking know what FNaF was.
Yeah.
Because
No.
I'm not in an English-speaking country, so any game that was not dubbed into German, people here will barely know.
Yeah.
And such was the case with FNaF. Like, anytime, like, people were like, what the fuck are you drawing? Because, like, I kept doodling at school. It's like, what the fuck are you drawing? It was like, oh, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Find out what?
Jaden Waker, who is that comment addressed to? Huh? Buster? Bro, someone was asking about roasting the other day, but that was someone else.
The left field comment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need an explanation, or I'm gonna have to get my moderators to enforce the YouTube policy.
Oh, bro.
Okay. Glad we cleared that up. I just wanted to check before I did this. All right. Have a nice day.
Oh.
So, let's try this again.
Only I'm allowed to make those jokes. Thank you very much.
It's not a joke though. They clearly weren't joking.
No, I
Not in good taste or faith. Anyway, I don't know this person.
Yeah, it's different when you know someone, you're on that kind of friendly, where banter is fine, but, like, if it's just out of fucking nowhere, it's like, dude, bro, what the fuck, why?
100%.
The things in my DMs with Artico would get me arrested in real life, probably. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but nah, it's just really gay bro jokes. Honestly, it's not that deep. But...
How many people do you have homie jokes with them?
2.5.
Dare I ask? Because there's at least 2 then.
Oh, at least 2. At least. I'm the Rizzler, just can't get no hoes. So, well, the only hoes I got are guys. This joke was going somewhere, but
apparently I count as a guy now.
Yeah.
No, you don't. That's not. Wait.
Oh, you just
that's
said
worse.
the only hoes I could get are guys. Excuse me, what am I then, huh? Bitch.
You're not a hoe. You're not a hoe. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm your hoe.
Aww.
Oh, that's so sweet. He's perpetuating
real
gender stereotypes. I said left. Okay, I'm a mess here. There was something else I wanted to talk about, which I thought was interesting, and that was characters in Sister Location. Like, specifically, in the main nights you get Baby, Ballora, Freddy, and Foxy. You got the Funtime Auditorium, the Breaker Room, you know, all these rooms, the Scooping Room. But then you get Custom Night with the Private Room, and you've got all these random B-Tech characters that, you know, nobody asked for. And some of them are cool, and some of them aren't. You got more of the Mini-Renas and Biddy Babs, but also Bonnet, Yendo, Lolbit. What do we think of these characters?
I think they're neat. Some of them confuse me just by why do they exist. I mean, cool, we have like more, but like why? Also, I just want to say, Creeper, you're so fucking correct. Yes, Carlton is a better protagonist than Charlie, and it's sad.
Yeah, I was also gonna say like real. On God.
Just like how Finn was a better protagonist than Ray in the sequels.
Yeah, you're the best.
Where are the well-written women at, honestly?
You're in the clubhouse. Aww.
But yeah, like, do we have any surprise favorites? Because Lolbit is surprisingly popular.
Is this like specifically
the Custom Night exclusive? Yeah, specifically Sister Location.
Yeah. I do like Lolbit.
Still my favorite. I like Lolbit. Lolbit's a goofy goober.
Yeah, I like the concept of Lolbit. Like, it just like appears and blocks your screens. I think that's really interesting.
But
like take on introducing a character.
It's a very unique game mechanic, and I think that played a role.
Oh yeah, also the design. I'm not gonna lie, the color slab.
Yeah,
that's like
that
very like cool recolor. I feel like a lot of people attach to just the color scheme, honestly.
Also, the eyes being like white
prick
dots, like FNaF 1. That's a very iconic
Fun fact: I do have the Lolbit Funko Pop.
Hey.
Well, there you go.
It's one of my coolest Funko Pops I have. Honestly, it's really cool. Like, it's just like the way they did it is really nice because you have the TV itself, but it's like hollow, and inside the hollow TV is the head of Lolbit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a FNaF fan game, or at least there was, that never got released, sadly, got cancelled, called Fazbear Tycoon, essentially a remake of Pizza Sim. But they had their whole own lore, and it got so extensive with so many writers that they created a dedicated game called FASER, Fazbear Entertainment Security Archive. And one of these stories basically canonizes this. It has like logs on all of like the custom night characters that presumably Afton has written about their functionality and purpose. And they tried to write it in a way where it's kind of tied into like what he was doing with the canon characters, and it's like, yeah, these were designed for, you know, luring children, or like acquiring remnant in some way, right? And using that. I think Yendo is a very slept-on character. And also, doesn't Yendo actually appear in the main game? Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they like a rare Easter egg in the actual main game?
I believe so. In
Lolbit is. Lolbit is.
When you go through Foxy's
yes article
Metroid room, is there not an Easter egg there?
Hey, Samurai Blake, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Visuals and style. Again, yeah, guys, why do we like Sister Location? Because we've talked a bit about this, but visuals and style are definitely an element, right? Like, it's a very nice looking game.
Like I said before, like I really like that the aesthetic is so coherent. It can be argued that like, why is it all like sci-fi chromatic? Like it feels a little like ill-fitted for the time frame and the like where this is supposed to be happening, the timeline, and also the fact that this is kind of like a DIY project, basically. Like it feels too professional for that almost. However, I do appreciate the cohesion. Everything's smooth, glossy, clean, almost not as decrepit as other parts of FNaF. I like the aesthetics. But honestly, I think the main draw for me for this game is the way the plot is introduced as an aspect, and the music.
I mean, the elevator is so iconic. The sheer atmosphere, the jokes, the voice acting, everything about it is just genuinely so well done. It's just an iconic experience coming out of FNaF as like a series where there's like the only voice acting is the phone guy, basically. And atmospheric soundtrack is kept to just like sounds and not really like much in terms of like melody. And then FNaF World comes along like, ooh, nice music, that's cool. Oh yeah, that's sick. And then like Sister Location comes along, it's like not just music, but there's like voice acting, actual plot, there's lore that's like way more out in the open than we're used to. It was just like almost like a culture shock, but in a good way. I really appreciated that first experience of discovering everything. Like, it was so cool. I remember that one was really what made me so fucking obsessed with FNaF. It felt fresh, right? Because when you get to FNaF 4, things had gotten so stale with the same formula, with the gameplay. The gameplay being different as well was one of the big draws of this game. So it was people have very mixed opinions on it now, though. Like, a lot of people don't like the actual, like, nightly, like, chores and the shifts and the way it's like, it's not just like this.
Oh yeah, it has flaws, definitely.
I mean, do you guys prefer, like, the main nights of Sister Location or, like, the private room and custom nights where it goes back to the formula?
I think both work.
Yeah.
I like where it gets switched up a bit. I like the changing, like how each night is different. It feels more like a linear story than...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really play the games as such, because the gameplay, I think it's kind of boring. It seems like it gets
That's the thing, you're the only one who's played it a little bit other than me, so...
yeah.
And also, I'm a massive wuss, which is...
But that's fair.
But that's, you know, not a bad thing, it's just a thing, I guess.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I think like they can't really be weighed that well, because like there's some people that already really love the way the FNaF formula work, but I still like really enjoy Sister Location for stepping out of the mold and doing something different. It's refreshing, and I think at the time that's actually really genuinely what the series needed, because it's so much samey stuff, and like it's cool that we have the option with the custom nights and stuff that we can still play this kind of style with new characters. But I like that the main game is like more linear and a different, I guess, mode of operandi. Like you can freely move almost. It's almost free roam, but it's also linear, with a very clear story. I appreciate it, even though I don't think it's the best of the series in that regard.
Yeah. Sorry, I just make sure I've got the chat. Yeah, what about locations? Do we have any, like, favorite rooms? Just thinking about that, you know, it's just a location.
I like the breaker room. The breaker room with Freddy was quite cool.
Pretty iconic.
really
And also
get to
getting
see
up
many
close to the animatronic.
It's very dark.
I mean, you've got the
Like,
breaker room, you know, the primary control module, circus control, where, like, Baby talks to you, the elevator, the vents, the auditoriums, the scooping room, the private room, and I think that's pretty much it.
I
other than what
like
you see on the cameras.
Baby's control. The control room for Baby.
Like, all the lights and the sound effects.
Yeah. And, like, all the hanging stuff, dolls and puppets, I think, are quite interesting.
Oh,
additions to
yeah.
the scenery. Yeah, and it's kind of like interesting to sort of see that implication of characters that aren't mainstream Five Nights at Freddy's characters, but they're probably Fazbear Entertainment characters.
They're weird, aren't they? There's like the little dolls.
Yeah.
What are they named? There's the magician dude, and then there's the balloon boy looking thing, which appears in Pizza Sim in one of the adverts.
I find it funny he did put a Chipper reference in there, because you kind of expect that.
I guess he'd already done it at this point, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Personally, I think my favorite room in all of this location is, weirdly enough, the main room where you can, like, from where you can go to the different areas. There's just something about the, like, turning the lights on and off and then seeing, like, weird shadows in the background because you check them. It's just so cool. And I love that. I also love that you don't really, I guess, like, see into the surrounding rooms. You only get, like, a glimpse, and I don't know, the overall setup is really iconic and cool.
With, like, hand unit and the voice change. Livy, what was your, like, favorite room? I'm just curious.
I'd probably say this is the most basic reason ever. It's like, it's the main room when you go in, and then you've got the control shop things for Funtime Foxy and for Laura. I like that room purely for the fact it just seems like so eerie, but then you've got these little things that you can boop the nose on.
Oh my god, yes!
They make really weird noises as well.
Those interactive
so, like, in the
things.
same room, yay!
Like, it's eerie, but then you've got these, like, funny little nose boops, and it's just like, oh, this isn't too bad.
Although I actually
I find them creepy, to be honest. They scare me more. The
you know
weird
what I like
sounds
about
they
them
make.
though? You know what I like about them though? Like, actually, question. Was Silva, like, was the FNaF, like, book trilogy out before this location or after? I don't quite remember.
Both.
Because, like,
yeah.
not the simultaneously, because, like, I'm pretty sure those heads are, like, a reference to
Yes.
to something that's also in the books. I think it was one of Charlie's own projects.
Charlie invented
like
the talking heads, and they're in the twisted ones, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Which came out after Sister Location, I think. It might have been before. Fourth Closet was definitely after.
I do think Scott had the plot, like, at least somewhat planned out beforehand.
Oh yeah, the books were being written, but they hadn't been published yet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think while those were being written, it was like half funny reference. So you know how he is. Lots of Easter eggs.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of that.
That's very difficult, Scott.
So I'm actually kind of trying to lock it in again.
Lock in and focus. You got this, I believe.
Okay, but yeah, yeah, I mean, I've... Sister Location's a real mixed bag, because the difficulty curve is whack. Nightfall is just really difficult for no reason, so it puts a lot of people off. Some people found some of the tasks like really boring. I always really like the break room for the atmosphere, because that's also when you basically meet Funtime Freddy. And also, it started something that I think Help Wanted also did pretty decently, and that was getting really close to the animatronics, like doing repairs on them.
Oh,
That was a really cool idea. The whole bonnet minigame was so well done.
All the stuff with,
But yeah, once you get through Night 4, Night 5 is basically just a walking sim. The checkpoints are really bad in this game, though. If you're trying to beat Enid Night, oh my god, the checkpoints suck. It took me so long to do that. Whoa, Bro's not on the camera.
Get booping, you've got to do the Freddy
The
thing,
keypads with Baby in the what's it called? It's not the breaker room. The
Sorry,
passing
yeah,
service.
the baby one, not.
But it's like, if you die to Ennard in the private room, it sets you all the way back to the primary control module instead of just spawning you back at the start of the night.
You still have to go through.
It takes like 40 minutes to do like 3 attempts. It sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, they really should fix that, but I guess.
But yeah, the reveal of the private room was such a reward for fans. Again, this game had multiple endings. That was so cool.
Oh, I just remember when Markiplier finished it before he found the private room and it said the end, and he was like, no, you say that, it's not the end. Like,
what did you guys think of the endings? And especially the fake ending, because it's kind of weird.
I like it. I like the multiple ending thing, and if you think outside the box, or I guess know the trick to get the true ending, I guess it would be called it's rewarding, but also who would think to go right instead of left? Like, that's such a obviously people did, but I personally would never have thought of that.
I like the way it's hidden as well, where you have to like get a game over, play the minigame, or find it in the menu after you've kind of done the regular ending.
It's a bit like the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 minigames. Like, who on earth realised that the wall tiles were a keypad? Who does that?
We talked about that, didn't we, Lucy?
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure that was like found out within 24 hours of the game releasing. I think someone just did some some data digging. And
yeah, no, this
coding.
happens every time a FNaF game releases. Everything's found on day one by data miners.
Everyone knows to data mine, I guess.
But yeah, but they still don't get the context for it until someone actually plays it, which takes a few days, typically.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the fake ending is so cool. You get like a classic FNaF sequence, and there's all the lore, like the FNaF 4 on the cameras. And then you get Ennard coming into your house when you get the exotic butters. It's crazy. I never understood what was implied by that ending, because some people thought it was an ominous thing, but I thought you'd like taken Ennard home and adopted them, and it was like they were just chill now.
Oh, really? I mean, I think it's more of a thing of like, the location isn't the same building as the house, the FNaF 4 house, like it's like underneath the FNaF 4 house. Makes sense, and like I think that was the implication here, that like, because the Ennard failed to execute the plan, they got out anyways.
Yeah. I'm just catching up with chat. DJ, that's a great QOTD. I like it. Artico, that's a good point. So the unlabeled room in the Night 2 interface, when you're in the break room reactivating everything, usually people don't bother to read because you don't have time when Freddy's on you. But there are 2 OBSF sections. OBSV. Observation areas, and they exactly match the FNaF 4 layouts of like all the rooms in FNaF 4, even the outdoors. There's actually 3 sections, but 2 of them are pet. But I always liked the bit of lore that was implied that, like, well, yeah, there have been previous escape attempts, and there were multiple ways for Baby and the others to like get out. Like Ennard could have climbed up those like thin little passageways, stairs or whatever that connected, you know, the FNaF 4 house to the Faz bunker, as I like to call it. And I think Help Wanted kind of reflects this by having a load of levels where FNaF 4 characters, well, sister location characters in the FNaF 4 house, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think honestly the main reason why, like, I guess they need you to escape is because they would not stay out for very long. Because they would be found out and put back, because obviously, you know, like, rogue-ass robots just, like, walking around would get caught and put back. And I think that's also implied that they tried before but got put back. And so they think if we look human, they won't put us back. So that's the idea.
Honestly, it's like a proper, like, horror story as a standalone. I just love the twist that, like, Baby has this really disturbing plan, but there's, like, an actual coherent logic to it that you can imagine a weird kind of, you know, ghost child kind of coming up with. Like, she's clearly had a lot of time to think about it. And there's a tragedy to the whole situation, because the animatronics trying to kill you are themselves victims.
Yeah.
All of them. At the end of the day, they're all victims.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, baby especially, and there's a whole family dynamic as well. Because, you know, you're her brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's done brilliant. Although, I say it's done brilliantly. We thought we were playing as William Afton for a long time. Because it was so confusing. But thank you, Custom Night, for the cutscenes. I
No, honestly,
those.
I remember losing my fucking mind at that last cutscene.
Yeah. I was a mic
Like,
trap believer as well. Like,
yeah, no, for a
Blood
while,
Man.
me too. But then, like, I guess when Pizza said, I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I had a different vision for what the final game would look like, but the way it panned out was awesome. But I remember seeing, like, headcanons and predictions of, like, oh yeah, we're going to be playing as William Afton, or a prison guard of William Afton, and it's going to be, like, some form of Golden Freddy Fredbear, Freak Show Baby, and Ennard coming for us. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And Springtrap, of course, because in this situation,
Yeah.
Springtrap, yeah. It would be like those four or something. In some form, and yeah. We kind of got that. I'm happy with how Pizza Sim went. It's basically my favorite game. It's one of them. It's hard to pick.
It's really, really good.
FNaF games are all great for different reasons, I find.
Oh yeah.
100%.
But like, it's kind of unfair whenever people are like, oh yeah, this one's objectively the best. Like, bro, are you even...
Wake
Do
up.
you even enjoy the games?
Just let people have fun. Yeah, it's
all
really hard to
different.
pick.
People
And they're all
like
good
what
for
they
different
want.
reasons.
Yeah, it's a shame people got burnt out with the quick releases of the first four, because they're all actually quite diverse and unique. 1 and 2 are very similar, but 3 and 4 really do their own thing.
And I appreciate them so much for that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think 3 and 4 probably like some of like, I mean all of them are iconic, but I don't know, for some reason 3 and 4 like stick to and Sister Location stick with me the most.
Well, they had more
Like,
unique
those
art
are what-
styles.
Yeah, and also like
Colour
I guess
scheme and
more of like more open lore, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I just slap on my rose-tinted glasses and I'm like, FNaF 2. FNaF 2 is shit. It is chef's kiss, even though, obviously, the RNG-based gameplay is apparently horrible.
Again, like, you guys, what games have you
Apparently
guys
pure
actually
luck.
played for the stream?
Hmm?
What games have you guys actually played out of the FNaF series?
I think you already know my answer.
I don't know if the stream knows.
I mentioned it this stream.
You said all of them, okay, yeah.
So.
Because you guys know me, I've played basically everything.
Yeah.
You know, up to 2019.
Think about this. I've played up to night 4 of FNaF 4. Night 4 is when I went, yeah, no, I'm too stressed, I can't handle this.
Oh, valid.
FNaF 2, similar shtick. I got up to night 3, I think, and I was like, no, I can't take it anymore. It's too much.
So that was because it was stressful, not scary.
It was both.
Mhm.
It was both stressful and scary.
Interesting.
Especially FNaF 2, the amount of multitasking you have to do. This whole... I know this is a very aged stereotype, but the stereotype of, oh, women can multitask really well. No, absolutely not. I can't
Multitasking isn't real.
If I'm trying to talk while
Yeah,
writing
actually,
something,
multitask
I'll
isn't
just
real.
start either writing what I'm saying or saying what I'm writing. I can't do both.
Yeah.
Lucy, do you want to tell your story
private-
about that?
Oh yeah, can I interject for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've started doing occupational therapy like literally this week. Like the first proper lesson, and one of the things I was taught immediately is multitasking is not real. Whatever we consider multitasking is us actively focusing, choosing to actively focus on one thing, while everything else that happens additionally to that is on autopilot. In order to do two things, like with active focus, you need to put one thing aside and put it on autopilot. You cannot actually actively do both. If you hear someone speaking to you and you want to listen to what they're saying while also writing something entirely different, it doesn't work. You have to focus on one or the other, and you pause and switch between them. And so we get the illusion that we're doing two things at once, but we're just focusing on a different task every time. We switch between
That's really
them.
interesting. I
Just
didn't
like
realise
how-
that's actually the sort of technical
Yeah.
explanation for what multitasking is, even though it's not multitasking. It's
Yeah.
like switching. That's really interesting. But yeah, I just lose focus really easily. So I either can hold a conversation or I can do something, or I can vaguely do both, but I will zone from one or the other.
Yeah, but chat, it's just like how I did one thing at a time to beat Girls' Night very hard. Boom, shakalaka. Was I not screen sharing?
yeah!
I was, good.
You were,
Sorry to
you were.
interrupt, that
You
was
were.
poor timing, but I did it. I actually beat it. That has
Well done,
taken a
bro.
long time, and well, there's only one thing left in this game I haven't done yet, guys, so we got an hour and a half left for me to stream if I want. I guess this could be what I do next. Unless I just want to replay stuff. I'm just gonna sit on this for a minute.
What else have I played? I've really got to think.
Livy, which FNAF games have you actually played? I think I know the answer, but
I
made
think
videos
the
of
majority of them is like on my channel, but I've
Mm.
played the FNAF 2 mobile demo, FNAF 3 mobile demo. I did. Oh, I can't remember. I think like I've played FNAF on the DS as well, like FNAF 2, 3, and 4, because there's like the homebrew stuff. You can get FNAF on the DS.
Oh my
The
god.
only one that actually works is FNAF 2, and it doesn't work very well because it's not like properly programmed and they're all still in working. But I think I have played like some sort of FNAF 4 demo. Ethan's just put it in chat. Yeah, he made me play the FNAF 4 demo and I was absolutely terrified. And I actually did a pretty
Aw.
decent job. But I did have Ethan like helping me and was like, I'll listen carefully and you just do what I say. I got jump scared once and
You
I
did
think that was
two-player.
on Fun with Plush Trap, I think.
oh yeah.
What else have I played? FNAF World. I did that
course.
with Noah, and then I did a stream with a video with DJ, because when I first played FNAF World with Noah, he was like getting me to do the speedrun thing, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on right now. Where are we? What's going on? And then me and DJ went back through it, and it was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. I get where this is going a bit. And I've also played Security Breach, OG, and Ruin, which we haven't played Ruin all the way through. And I've got Help Wanted on the Switch as well, which I find Help Wanted on the Switch is like, with the main games, it feels a lot easier than the in the VR one than it does in the actual games. Like FNAF 2, I found that like, because obviously you can keep the like camera on as well as like looking around you. It's a lot easier to keep the music box wound up. So that one's pretty good.
Interesting.
But yeah, I found with the FNAF 3 mobile demo, it kept crashing on the second night, and I did technically beat it. But like it got to 6 AM and then it was just on this, like, it wasn't on the 6 AM screen, it had 6 AM in the corner with
That's weird.
and then it was just like a frozen screen of the FNAF 3 office, and it's like, well, I beat that, so I'm counting that. But yeah.
Nah, as you should, as you
and I
should.
played FNAF 1. But
On PC?
I don't know how far I got with FNAF 1. I think I got to like night 5 or something. Because what I usually did with FNAF 1 and Lego FNAF, I got
yes.
I usually have a timer next to me so I can count down like how long I've got for the night to end, so it's like I'm so close, I know what I'm doing, sort of thing. Like,
yeah.
just that little bit of hope that like the closer I get with the timer.
Yeah, some people like to play with timers.
Yeah.
I don't bother usually, but yeah, it's good to have, because you do, when you're looking at the AM in the game, you're always doing the mental arithmetic. Okay, I've used this much power, I've got this much power left, I need to have this much power by this time. Yeah. I actually wrote down a sheet like a while back of sister location, custom night, and FNAF 1 what the optimal power levels were to have at each hour, as a reminder. And also, just to add on to some of the things you were saying, so first of all, the Lego FNAF, for those of you who remember, that's not available anymore. That got taken down. They basically remade the first game in Lego, and they were going to make more, but I don't think it ever panned out.
Yeah, they got
I didn't even know that was a thing.
what was it?
The difficulty was
Lego
busted.
wrote them a
It's
letter.
unplayable after night 6. Like, the custom night was so busted in difficulty, it was unplayable, unfortunately. But the other thing is, I think you made a really good point earlier when you said that, like, with most FNaF games, once you've had a few jump scares and you get used to it, it doesn't really scare you as much anymore. They're horror games, but they're not, like, the scariest thing ever. I think FNaF 4 is the only exception. That one still hits hard because of how intense it is.
See, I don't know if I've just given up too quickly to have that take effect, or if I'm just that much of a wuss. But they're just always scary.
No, this is the thing.
So
You played, wait, which ones? 1 and 2 and...
up to night 4 of 1, up to night 3, I think, of 2, up to night 3 on FNaF 3, I think. I got really
You have played 3, okay.
Never played 4 because I was like, yeah, no, absolutely not. I watched Markiplier. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I've played
We'll
most
go
of
back to the menu
FNaF
for a
World.
minute.
I don't know if I've ever actually finished FNaF World, but I know the endings.
There we go. Yeah.
Sister Location, I played up to night 4. Trying to think what else. Pizza Sim. I mean, we played that together.
We did.
So I guess that counts as having played it, even though you did miss the gameplay.
You definitely played the Tycoon
let's make a
parts.
pizzeria. Oh yeah, I love
That's
it.
base. Bro would go
Yeah.
for the best pizzeria without ever
I've
bothering
dabbled in
the
UCN.
salvages.
I think
Haven't
that's
we all?
it though.
Okay.
I'm not very good at that style of game.
Ethan, do not riz my sister. And do not do it with FNaF 4.
Whoa.
Do not.
no.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, I wasn't even looking at chat. Oh god. No,
I just wanted to say that, like, it took me 4 straight hours of gameplay, and this was, like, dotted over the course of a couple years, to finally just hit a point all of a sudden where FNaF 4 didn't scare me anymore. Like, I just got used to it. It just took way longer than any other FNaF game, because the actual difficulty of the game is really good. It's not hard. Once you know what the breathing sounds like, the difficulty is, for the first 5 nights, probably the easiest out of, like, the whole series. Like, it's really straightforward, it's really consistent, it's really fair. It's just, there was so much intensity in how, like, the atmosphere was built up and the jump scares were used, that, like, I was shaking and sweating, and it's like the game plays with you psychologically. The only reason it's difficult is because it messes with your head. Once you can overcome that, it's actually very satisfying, very fun, and easy to play. I can casually hop into FNaF 4 now, and, like, the jump scares still make me jump a bit more, but, it's not, like, shock. It's not, I'm not, like, paralyzed anymore, and that's all thanks to Ethan. If Tripler hadn't forced me to play, never would have happened. Also, yeah, should we talk about plush babies? Sorry, the petition.
Well,
Petition! Duncan.
Petition I made years and years ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, let's get Max to play FNaF 4. Which is totally hypocritical, because I would never touch that game.
But it's done now.
Sorry.
You won, Sash, you won.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember PewDiePie just being... Because PewDiePie was a horror game veteran at that point. Bro was just, you know... But also, Duncan, since this is related to women, how about we talk about the plush babies from VR?
Huh?
No.
Okay,
I think I've made my thoughts on them clear.
I don't think
You guys don't
anybody
even know what
likes
those
plush
are, do you?
babies.
You don't
they
even
the ones-
know.
No, I do. I've tried that mini game.
Okay.
Where they're like hiding in a room and then it goes dark and then there's something.
Look at the stream
I've
for a
done it in
moment.
flat mode. It's really...
So, Steel Ball, in their innovative, you know, creative genius, made a level in FNaF VR, which was literally just this, the Funko baby plush, an actual real-world bit of merchandise. They just took that, made a blue recolor and a yellow recolor, and that was a FNaF VR level, just to shine your light to get rid of the buggers. They are the most annoying, obnoxious things just created. All of their voice lines are higher pitched versions of Baby and Balloon Boy's lines. They have these ear-piercing jump scares. They're just literal plushes.
I can't think of anybody that likes that game.
And they just suck, because every single level they've appeared in has been an unbalanced piece of shit that is just frustrating. I've actually never experienced Lolbit in Help Wanted because I could never get past plush babies. It's that hard. And thankfully they made the Curse of Dreadbear variant optional, but like, they're still kicking around in Help Wanted 2 apparently.
That is a lot.
Nobody wants that. Why more?
And it's like, not only did they rip off real merch for the design, it's an awful design. I mean, it could be worse, I guess, but this is when the Funko waves of merch.
I think it's cutesy. I think it's nice.
I actually have that plushie.
Well, it's okay. It's okay, but like, after this, Funko's merch nosedived in quality, and then it jumped back up for Pizza Sim for no reason, which I'm immensely grateful for.
Because Pizza Sim.
But yeah,
was,
it was
like the most based game from that era, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you've kind of got 3 eras of FNaF games. You've got your first, you've got your first 4 games, and then it kind of dies off with FNaF World, and then you've got Sister Location, which kind of brings in a new era of FNaF games, which kind of runs up until I want to say. The order in which the games came out.
So you got like the original 4
era.
And then the spin-offs with Sister Location, Pizza Sim UC, and then you got like the Steel Wall stuff, and that's where we're up to now.
Yeah.
Time for a change, I think. It's been 5-6 years. Oof.
As much as I love the Glamrock designs and some of the ideas that were put forward in Security Breach, man, AAA is not a good look on Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm not gonna lie, I think yeah, personally, I think like, it lacked in every direction except for the designs. The designs were great. I love the visuals, but everything else, the writing, the gameplay, the fact that everything was just one really long fetch quest at first, and a bugged out mess, and then I'm sorry, but Gregory is not a compelling character. If you make a game where the main, I guess, source of tension hinges on you caring about the protagonist surviving, why are you making him the most unlikable little whiny bitch that has no personality beyond what the plot currently needs of him? I'm sorry, it pisses me off, honestly.
Oh,
I'm just gonna spend some time in the extras talking about designs. This is cool. I forgot all about all this.
I have a quick question for everybody. Has anybody here, I know I showed Matt the Ruin one for these, even though he's not seen anything Ruin. Fair enough. Does anyone else here watch Pymations?
I know it's all about.
Yes.
And the Pymations, I don't think I've seen their original Security Breach video, but I watched their Ruin one recently. And it's really funny. I just think Pymations just... there's something about
Pymations just great.
Yeah.
They're very funny. They do good.
It's I don't want to spoil it if people haven't seen it, so please watch it, but there's a bit with Roxy that's just really funny.
Unrelated, guys, but I was just looking back at the control module. Do you remember how the Ennard mask is actually mounted on the wall and it disappears on night 5?
Yeah.
I forgot about that detail.
I love
That's
details
cool...
like that. I love it.
Because it also makes a noise when you honk the nose, I think. Like, it's part of the environment.
It makes a horrible noise, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as horrifying as the baby clock, to be fair, but...
The baby clock doesn't make any noises though, does it?
No. Thank goodness it's not operational. Also, there are cameras in these rooms. Which has always been an interesting detail to me. Like, there are cameras in the rooms, not the elevator.
And they blink. Their lights blink, I'm pretty sure. The red lights.
Oh! I remember now. The doll on the top left here, this guy, in the game files of Sister Location, he's called Little Joe, but he appears in an advert for Lally's Lollies in Pizza Sim. This guy was never given a name, it's just a magician.
Is that the dude sat on the console, the Lally's Lollies guy?
No, the one hanging up on the wall here. You can't see him clearly, but he's got little, like, hat.
I was gonna say.
But yeah, he's got, like, the blue, like, stripes. It looks very Balloon Boy-esque. Again, Lucy, didn't this spawn some theories, including ours, that, like, Balloon Boy was actually from Sister Location, pretty much? Or that
I mean, my personal theory is that, like, Balloon Boy is, like, I guess the first and maybe only animatronic that William made that Henry allowed to be put into the thing. Because I feel like maybe some of the contention William had with Henry is that, like, William's ideas always got shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my theory is that Balloon Boy was a prototype. He was the first animatronic ever made by Afton, which is why it's interesting that they kind of have a connection in FNaF 3 with, like, you know, Balloon Boy being the audio lure voice for Springtrap, and also the first and most prominent Phantom to appear. Like, I wonder what that represents. William's frustration with his, you know, own creation, children, both. That particular little laughing gremlin. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah?
Muffin?
Hello?
She only talks to Muffin like that. She doesn't talk to me like that. Not jealous at all.
He was already complaining at me from the staircase a couple of seconds ago. And I came here and was like, he headbutted my leg. It was very cute.
Aww.
Baby. Break room faces. Isn't Bonnet a girl? I just realised. Ladies' night.
Yeah.
Bonnet's female. Sorry, Tash, yeah.
Oh, I was actually just going to ask us if Lucy's seen Smudge. Completely unrelated to anything.
Oh wait, I have. I'm pretty sure Matt has sent me photos.
Yeah,
Right,
our
good,
brother,
good.
one of our older brothers, is a
crime
cactus Smudge.
If he hadn't.
Yeah, I think I did share that at some point. Duncan, apparently, Ballora doesn't have a making of section because Scott really struggled with it. I imagine it got really messy where he couldn't get a coherent series of frames without big jumps in the making, so he just left that one out. Also, 3 is already a lot to have. But yeah, Scott probably struggled with Ballora's anatomy, let's be real. Also, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I love these renders, they look so clean. But yeah, making of the characters, just skipping through these, we've seen these before. It's interesting how Freddy has like additional endoskeleton parts, like all these dark wires, that's unique to him. And the prototype version.
The sister location endoskeletons are just really odd to me. Like, I love the character designs, like the exoskeleton, I guess you would say, but the endoskeletons kind of like, why is it so bulky compared to the original? I just think the FNaF 1 through, I guess FNaF 1 and 2 are they're seen the most, the endoskeletons. I think they're just
exotic butters.
I think the bare bones is, but oh my Jesus!
Just remembered that was a thing. Sorry.
Exotic butters.
Sorry. Go on. You were saying the endoskeletons.
I just don't like the sister location ones. I just think they're too bulky.
They're kind of odd. I do think it's creative that they're constructed in a very different way, but like, you know, maybe creative isn't that great a compliment to use.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird copy paste of spheres. They edit's an exception.
Away from the originals and from real life animatronics. The thing about the FNaF 1 and 2 ones is that you can tell they are very much based on real life animatronic endoskeletons that you would see in Disney parks, I guess Chuck E. Cheese, other places where you would see animatronics. I guess they're the two biggest ones.
Oops, I accidentally clicked the minigame button. I didn't mean to click that. I guess we're playing now. We're playing the minigame. That was an accidental click.
We're gonna visit the girl of girls.
The girl of girls. The baby. And Elizabeth, you mean? Oh god, I don't remember how to do this. I'm not gonna beat this, we're just improvising here, chat. But yeah, I was just gonna say, Lucy, you had like a whole... Because you know about this as an artist, the SL endos are designed to look like human muscle. Presumably to give them more lifelike movement.
You know what? That does make sense. That does make. I don't think Ane ever talked about that or thought about that really, but that would make sense.
Chat's over. I got it wrong. That kid's just leaving unsatisfied. I thought it was the Zoomy one.
Like, bruh.
Oh man.
Big Teletubbies vibes, this one with the sun. Yeah, I need to kill myself. Thanks for that, Tash. I know that's what you want.
Whoa! Oh, hey now.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh god, yeah, that was the... Guys, yeah, no, baby's crowed her 12. She humped.
What did you say?
I'm gonna try this again. Dob Cinco Humscare. And Fight Night at Freddy. Do you know what I want to see? I want to see, like, the Spanish ripoff, like, in universe of FNaF. Oh, wait, El Chip exists. I forgot about that. But, like, I want to see that properly. Can you imagine, like a really bad, like, FNaF bootleg, like, worse than El Chip, like, actually just... I want to see that with their, like, funny music and everything. That'd be amazing. Okay, this is tight. You have to thread the needle, chat. Oh, I didn't mean...
cupcakes on you.
I was trying not to. Oh, wait.
So now you've got.
Wait, now I'm so confused.
No, you didn't. Oh.
I don't remember how to play this at all.
That one's the one that you sent that way.
Where did I get the triple shot? Ah, there it is. Well, I just want to play them. I'm gonna see if it can be the minigame now. I just want to try this.
I mean, it is. You are playing as baby, so I guess it counts towards girls' night.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the ultimate. This is girls' day, actually. This is girls' day, canonically. Yeah. Anyway.
Do you even need to feed that kid at the start?
I'm pretty sure I do. I think this is the most optimal way to do it. I might be wrong. It's
Remember, that one's the triple shot.
They're not back here, are they? No, that's for later. Thanks, Tash. Yeah. You know, one thing we haven't really talked about, actually, that I would be curious, is there, like, a story for you guys of, like, how you, like, you know, were introduced to Sister Location? Like, it wasn't any of your, like, first FNaF game, but Tash and I mentioned how, like, we played it for the first time. I remember we did nights 1 to 3 in, like, one session, and I just messed this up. Like, do you remember, like, seeing it for the first time when it released, and, like, the teasers and the build-up to it?
I remember two main things. Or actually, three main things. I remember the Stop the Games images that were on the website, which didn't even have words. It was, like, the background colours for the, like, lettering for Sister Location.
Oh, yeah, we were trying... I remember trying to figure that out, and people thought it was going to start Chipper's Revenge. I mean, you could get a Chipper game.
Everyone
that was a
thought
horror
it was
game.
going to be Chipper's Revenge. Then... Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sister Location, didn't he do a joke release where it was Sit and Survive, and it was like the mature edition or something? Mature.
It's still on Game Jolt if you want to get it. It is still available. Yeah, Sister Location Mature Edition. I got tricked.
There was the trailer. I remember the trailer. Yeah, the three things that I remember. And then obviously they get released, and it was like, oh god.
Just like FNaF 3, fake win. I'm gonna get a screenshot of that. I don't actually remember the goal sign flashing like that. It's been so long since I've seen that. I'm gonna play one more time. But yeah, you got the teasers. And there's so much I could talk about with the teasers, because you got all those amazing renders of Baby and Ennard being like revealed, but also, do you remember the cancelled due to leaks thing?
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was like shortly after one of Michelle Moss's voice lines had been leaked, apparently. And everyone thought the game was like actually cancelled for a little bit.
I remember we were devastated about that.
Yeah.
And then it was the newspaper article, wasn't it?
Writing it up, like the old teasers. It was perfect Scott Cawthon tomfoolery. It was the exact kind of like marketing thing that FNaF did so great back then. Judge this right, let's see if I can get them all. Ooh.
It reminds me of, I don't know if anyone's going to understand this, but the way Taylor Swift in the past has done like teasers for her albums, and when for her next like old Taylor's version, I don't know if anyone else is going to get this. She's done like little Easter egg hunts, and like honestly, the hardcore Taylor Swift fans go a little bit crazy on the scavenger.
The Swifties have always been crazy.
While they, for the most part, are right, it's really funny to watch them absolutely lose their minds. Like, oh my god, it's going to be this album next because XYZ reason that, oh, she sang this song on this day, or she wore this outfit on this day of the tour, or she posted this thing on her Instagram and there's this hidden word, and it's just like, where are you getting this from?
Yeah, the thing about predictions is that it's all fun and games until you're disappointed when the thing comes out.
See, it's that, but also like,
oh, I actually need to cough there.
You gotta go back to the start.
I know, but you have to get the ice cream first.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna make it, chat. I don't think we're gonna make it. I'll try. In fact, you know what? No. I don't want to kill Elizabeth this time. I've had enough, guys. I'm gonna break the cycle. I'm gonna pick up the ice cream and go to the goal. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that.
Go eat your ice cream.
I don't think I've seen anybody actually do that. But yeah, the teasers, like, because cancelled due to leaks, it turned out to be like an in-universe lore thing that was like super obscure. I always found that really interesting. Because people forget, like, it exists, but it does a lot of like groundwork for the lore of this game, kind of explaining how the hell this thing exists. But yeah, so the thing about Sister Location with the lore, although it was the first game with a more explicit story and characters and themes, and I thought that was great and refreshing, it became such a mess lore-wise, and there's so many things, little things that could have been added to this game that would have really helped. I think, like, one blueprint, talking about illusion discs or something, as dumb as that idea is inherently, but, like, one blueprint would make a hell of a difference, just added to this lineup, you know. Kind of like the secret ones in Pizza Sim, one of which isn't even used, so it's just in the game files. But, like, there's just, it's a bit too vague. I like FNaF 4, but also the explanations we get aren't satisfying, because the thing is, I think a lot of people say, Sister Location was too sci-fi. Maybe, but Sister Location was also too futuristic. I think sci-fi is something that can blend really well into FNaF, but I think how futuristic it was is kind of insane. Now, a lot of people do think this game... Well, this is the next thing. A lot of people think this game is supposed to be in, like, the 2000s, like, shortly before FNaF 3. I strongly disagree. I think, like, anyone with a noggin would logically conclude it has to take place in 1991 at the latest. But regardless of that, the technology is so way ahead of its time. And it's like, I'm just wondering logistically, how was this funded? Where did Afton get the money to do this from? Genuinely. There's never been an explanation for this. Like, the Phasma entertainment we get in the Steel Ball games is already insane. Like, where did bro get the money for this? I don't think Scott Cawthon thought that far.
Life insurance from his dead wife.
Lots of debt. Bank loans.
He was his own lawyer.
Do you know what? Okay, this is gonna sound insane. But at least Bendy and the Ink Machine had this thing where some of the posters have war bonds on them, because it happened during the 40s. And it's like, Joey Drew was a patriot, of course. He did sponsorships with the military-industrial complex. I feel like something similar would have worked for this in a weird way. But, like, man, like, what kind of businesses... Like, was bro an investor? Did he go into the stock market and make bank somehow? What happened? It's crazy. Also, yeah, 8-Bit Baby. I thought 8-Bit Baby in FNaF AR was awesome. I honestly, like, as far as the Lumix skins go, I actually thought that was a bit of fun. It wasn't... They've done worse things. Slippin' Will Affman. Anyway. Sorry, I've gone really off track because these are just interesting things I want to bring up.
Saul Goodman of the animatronic business.
Well, yeah, Slippin' Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy McGill. But while you guys are here, Livy, do you remember, like, when this game came out, and do you have any memories with it? Let's go start. Golden Freddy attempts. This is 10-10, not 10-20. 10-10.
I was kind of, like, late to the whole FNaF thing. Like, I started getting into it before, like, just before Help Wanted came out.
Here we go. Ooh,
so...
Oh, wow, okay, you only started off FNaF in 2019.
Yeah,
Shit. I don't remember.
I don't know, because the first introduction I had to any form of FNaF was Five Nights at Wario's. And then it kind of went from there. So... I'm
oh my god.
Yeah, so I kind of watched Markiplier play Five Nights at Wario's, then started watching him play the main FNaF lineup. Yeah, I don't know. Tough thing.
Because, so for you didn't get the shock of Sister Location being different to the previous games. Because by the time you got to it, it was already a very established thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one of the other things I want to talk about. It's like with FNaF AR, for example, with Help Wanted, and the way Sister Location's kind of legacy has played out in later games and later releases. Like, generally it's considered to be one of like the core 5 as like the first Five Nights at Freddy's games because of the ports, because of how weirdly enough the Pizza Sim characters just don't get as much representation in the Illumix and Steel Ball games, at least not initially. I've always found that weird. But like Sister Location got a lot of attention.
Yeah, I'm
Lucy,
not sure why that is, honestly.
Yeah. You don't know how to play this. But yeah, Lucy, you saw Sister Location on release, didn't you? Like, probably Markiplier saw him playing it. So, to you it felt, but you also said it got you more interested in FNaF, whereas before you were only casually interested.
Yeah. Hold on, I just realized my fucking mouse is being weird. Hold on, give me a second. There's hair in the laser.
Oh no.
I gotta head out now.
Livy,
yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we go?
Not off the top of my head.
Alright, well it's been a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the stream.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
See you around. Have a good day.
Yes, you guys too. I will see you around. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Livy.
Alright, mouse fixed. What was your question again?
I was just asking everybody about their experience with Sister Location on release, and Livy, who by the way is Nebula Nexus03 on YouTube, you should definitely go subscribe to her channel for some awesome videos. Check it out. She's doing a July Jamboree right now, which is looking a lot of fun. But I was just asking her about any memories with Sister Location specifically, but she only really got into FNaF around Help Wanted, so to her it was already a very established thing. Whereas for you, Lucy, well, for some people, Sister Location was like a big shock because it was so different to the previous 4 at the time. But for you, also, it got you more interested, whereas you were just a casual fan before, right? You were only kind of into the first 4, but then Sister Location, you were like really hyper-fixating, I guess.
I'm gonna say, I was already very into the first 4, actually. I think by the time FNaF 4 came around, I was like, ooh, this is really cool, this is interesting, I'm fascinated, I want to know more. But like, Sister Location, I think, was the first time where I was actively where I got into theory crafting for this game, actively. Before that, I just kind of like vaguely consumed MatPat's content, the game theory stuff. But that's when that was the first time where I was like, whoa, hold on, this is adding so many pieces that I find super interesting, and make me, I guess, wanna come up with stuff more myself. Like more specifically, I think very specifically, like I already loved the way the lore and plot was delivered much more openly than in the previous games. But I think what really took it from ooh, I want to know more to whoa, I have ideas was honestly the DLC cutscenes.
Yeah, the DLC cuts. Well, so the whole custom night was awesome. I think the gameplay was peak. A lot of people would agree. And the story and the cutscenes were amazing. Like, we got to see the outside world, we got to introduce to kind of Michael in a way, we got to see, you know, we had the amazing music, the funny kind of looping thing, and then obviously the Springtrap cutscene is just crazy.
I lost my fucking shit at that. That was so crazy cool.
Yeah, me too. Like, that was probably the peak hype of the whole series, to be honest. I think there's been that much hype for the next game. Even though it was a long wait and people got impatient and bored and dipped, and missed out on like 2 of the best games in the series. But, you know, it happens. But yeah, it's funny because I know a lot of people who really, really don't like Sister Location. They think it's the worst thing. They think it ruined the franchise. I'm not even joking. I'm not going to name them. Some people genuinely think, like, this derailed FNaF from what it was. Like, these people are, like, purists. They only think, like, the first 4 are great in some cases.
Yeah. A lot of the arguments that I've seen about this is just, oh, you know, the sci-fi aspect was unnecessary, and it, like, ruined the formula, and I wish they'd stuck with it just being supernatural. Like, that's really the main gripe.
Yeah,
like,
I think
the whole remnant thing and being introduced, that pissed them off.
I just think it's interesting that, like, Eric and people saying, like, this is probably their favourite game. This game's never been my favourite but I've always liked it. I think there's bits I don't like, but overall, in my tier list, I think I gave it B tier alongside like FNaF 2, which, you know, I can't remember. It was a year ago, but yeah, like it's you know, the main issues I have with it are more how it relates to the wider series, and they're kind of mostly nitpicky lore things. Yeah, also, cool guy, you can't change the AIs, but I think the 4 difficulty settings give you enough variation. If you're going over 10, you might as well go to 20. Like, in most cases, like, the numbering with the 4 difficulties covers what you need, I think. But yeah, it is technically a preset challenge night rather than a custom night. Article, I'll see you around. Insta, welcome to the stream, thanks for joining. And just to get back to what we were saying, yes. Yeah, Duncan, absolutely. God, what were we saying? I've forgotten. Yeah, so...
Yeah, sissification wasn't that popular with a lot of people. That's what we're
I've seen people... I'm just curious what you guys would say in response. Not, you know, that will change their minds, and people are perfectly valid for their opinions. It's the toxic people who, like, become a strawman and just kind of, like, get out of hand with it, but... Some people say, for example, this game is basically a glorified PowerPoint slideshow. Like, what do you make of that?
I think that's a really harsh criticism.
Yeah, I think given the limitations of the engine used, I think it did a really really good job, because it's technically just a point and click game, you know, if you really think about it. So there's a lot of limitation of what you can actually do with that and how to, I guess, execute it. And I think for that it works fine, and I enjoy that it's like I said before, there's like, it brings a certain freshness to the way it presents the levels and the different tasks you need to do in the different nights. Do I think it's executed perfectly? No, and I think there's like a lot of valid criticisms to be made about the execution of that. But call it a glorified PowerPoint slideshow is, I think, doing a lot of it a disservice, especially considering the extra work that went into this game in particular, with the voice acting, with the music, with the story. There's a lot to like, and if that one single aspect of it, like, I guess maybe the graphics and gameplay making for kind of a shit experience, but you ignore basically everything great about it, then you don't really have a nuanced opinion, you just want to be pissed. No offense.
Yeah. No, I get that impression too.
It's being, I don't want to say graphics-ist, but...
Well, some people also just hate the game's art style. I think that's just a subjective opinion.
That's just an opinion.
That's fair, yeah.
Not a fact. That's an opinion. That's a very different thing. Like,
exactly. Like, but people treat it as fact. Like, oh, this looks so ass. Like, why does it not have like the same like visuals as the rest? I don't know. Maybe you're just not open enough to something new.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else. People, obviously, the sci-fi complaints.
Yeah, I don't quite get that, because I'm sorry, but sci-fi and supernatural, there's always going to be overlap, like, in a lot of
not necessarily.
Yeah, and
I think it would.
Yeah, and like, if it would have been nice if they stuck with just supernatural, but I personally actually really love FNaF even more for the fact that it decided to merge the two in the way that it did. It's like I don't know, it feels like such an interesting take of like having someone experience something supernatural and then try and like replicate the case and explore it in a scientific way, the way William tried to do. Even though he's obviously not a scientist, he's a fucking quack job. But like,
yeah,
it's still interesting, like having someone experience that and then try to think, okay, but how can I like expand on this?
Yeah.
Recreate it. I think that's fascinating. That's such a cool take.
Yeah.
Kind of locking it in right now. Oh my goodness. This mode's crazy. Oh, it's so over, chat. Oh no.
Also, like, Kellen Goff's voice acting, I know he's not the only one, but the man has range.
He does. He really does.
I mean, obviously we know who's in this game is Funtime Freddy, but in, dare I mention it, Security Breach, like,
hell yeah,
his voice acting is one of the saving graces of that game.
Yeah. Also, Livy, hello in chat. How you doing?
The amount of people that don't realize that he's Sun and Moon as well as Glamrock Freddy, I think is
right, because his voice is just that good.
It's a testament to his fucking range.
His range, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, he had German Funtime Freddy.
Oh my god, I forgot about.
Oh god, don't remind me. I love Kellen, and I appreciate the talent and skill required for that, but it made me cringe the fuck out.
No,
what, is this a bad German accent, or?
Kind of, but also I just genuinely cringe at my own accent.
German accents are awesome. I love German accents.
I don't like it. I mainly don't like it because it's always associated with the fucking mad scientist stereotype. Fuck off.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say something else. But yeah, that too.
Like, I'm sorry, TF2 keeps it funny, but like even in TF2 I'm kind of like, really, again?
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't realize that was such a big thing. Like, thinking about it, yes, that actually makes sense, but I never thought about it in that way.
I mean, we're all Brits except for Lucy in this voice call, so yeah.
It's just it always every single fucking either the mad scientist of a franchise has a German accent or a Russian one. There's no in between. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
It's always Russian
US dominated
or German.
media be like. Yeah.
And like I even get why, like historically speaking, I understand. It makes sense, but also, can we do something else for once, please?
Yeah. Guys, who's your least favorite SL character in terms of design? Duncan says Electrobab for obvious reasons. Electrobab's a weird one. They just sort of exist for some reason.
No, I'm kind of inclined to agree. I don't like the Biddy Babs. I don't like Electrobab. I don't know. I don't like the designs. I don't like the mechanics. They feel kind of pointless, you forget about them really quickly, it's just...
Part of me wants to say Yendo because first off, I don't like the endoskeletons in this game, and this kind of just highlights that.
Fair enough. They are very unrealistic, and it's one of the futuristic parts of this game that I'm not a big fan of either. But that's Scott's modelling rather than the story.
Yeah, like, I appreciate that he went for something different rather than a real life. Like, it definitely keeps that detraction from real and reality. It brings in more sort of.
I'll try this again.
Sci-fi fantasy vibe. Fantasy's the wrong word.
For me, it's got to be Electrobab and Biddy Bab, but if we make an exception for them, yeah, maybe Tash. I like Yendo, but.
Yeah.
Honestly, Bonnet's lame. I think Bonnet's always been pretty lame. It's just Bonbon, but worse. And Bonbon was already mid, so.
I like Bonbon.
Although it does still crack me the fuck up in the custom night. Or like, Freddy fucking throws Bonbon at the door and just goes.
Dude, all the memes and animations have been made of that over the years.
It's so funny.
Oh my god, it's extensive. Yeah, no. Because this is Girls' Night, I've been focusing on the female characters, but man, this game would not be the same without Funtime Freddy. Absolutely
yeah, 100% iconic.
Like, Kellen's voice acting is a big part of it. The model is also great. Bonbon, the whole dynamic that those two have that's created by that design is also excellent. Please, game. Ooh, that was close. I might have to turn up my gamma for this. Yep, Yendo's blinding me. Oh. But yeah. Interesting point, Eric. I always found Funtime Foxy the least interesting out of the main four. Ah, shit. Like, Funtime Foxy was always the least interesting. They kind of had something going on in UCN, but nah.
Yeah, I think like the interesting part about the Funtime Foxy really does only come in UCN. I'm not gonna lie, kind of mid in sister location.
Come on. Bonbon's mechanic is also really annoying. Like, having to click the nose while it's moving like that is, oof. It's really, really annoying and difficult. Foxy's definitely less aggressive, like, just to balance things out. Pre-patch was probably insane. Speak of the devil. Yeah. Do you guys see yourselves ever playing Sister Location more than you have?
Maybe one day. But if you're ever like gonna visit me, or like we can like just meet up IRL again. Maybe even some point if we ever live together. Like we could like well I hate playing it on my own alone in my room and then go to bed alone. Just no.
Aww.
I get very spooked very easily, and I need emotional support in person.
Yes, you do.
So like maybe in one of those instances we can play through them.
But like you're already familiar with it, so it's not like it's gonna be a curated experience. You just wanna you don't wanna do it on your own. And I get that. Gaming with friends is always better, even if it's a single player one. The amount of times Tash and I have played games together where one of us has just sat and watched. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just preferable overall, honestly. It's just nicer, it's fun, it's nice to have moral support, someone to talk you through it if you like get unsure. I mean it's
backseat gamers, kids.
Yeah. I mean I'm fine just leaving my FNaF experience and watching other people play it. But overall I do wanna one day actually play through them myself.
Yeah. All of them?
Yeah.
All of them.
Not to completion, mind you. I would never ever do like high scores in UCN because I don't actually like UCN that much. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just not fond of it, I think.
Same.
Fair enough.
The cutscenes are cool, but other than that, I'm kind of like.
Yeah, I think it's mainly because I don't play the game myself, so watching it gets kind of repetitive and boring. Yeah.
When you're playing yourself, it's different. Yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously. But yeah, I'm not a good player of video games. I'm very casual, and I'm not like, I don't aim for skill. I aim for the experience.
Yeah, you're the opposite of most of the people I know.
Speaking of gaming, by the way, the entire time you've been streaming, I've been like, since I have my nice dual monitor setup, I've been playing Car Wash Simulator on one side and then like watching you play on the other.
I've been the same with Minecraft actually.
Nice.
I got a second monitor. I actually set it up yesterday.
It's the ADHD. It requires busying.
Yeah,
it's like those fucking iPad kids that need like instruction in order to listen.
Just me with my two ADHDers. This is awesome. Yeah, the I was just gonna reply like with, I think I mean it's obviously up to you, but like it would be cool if like I could be with you and then we could play through maybe 5 nights of like each game. FNaF 4, I don't know if you're too keen on though. And you said every game. What about Help Wanted 2, Lucy? You sure you want to do that? You want to play Freddy in Space 3?
Okay. I'm gonna correct myself and say the first 7 games, because I'm not doing Help Wanted. The thing is, I could play Help Wanted because I have a VR headset. Actually, you know what? If you're like gonna visit me, we can totally play Help Wanted with my VR headset if you want.
Respectfully, there are several other VR games I would rather play
than
valid, but like,
fucking
Help Wanted.
Like it's worth the experience at least. Like
yes, it's one of the reasons I want to get VR for myself at home. But if I end up getting yours first, that'll be something, wouldn't it? But yeah, I was just thinking, yeah. What about FNaF World? Would we add FNaF World to this? Would you ever play that through or?
I do enjoy FNaF World. I'm just generally not fond of round-based games, but the nice thing about FNaF World, brain is farting a little. The nice thing about FNaF World is it's technically not really round-based. You kind of just like wait for everything for the cooldowns to go down.
Yendo's in Help Wanted too. That's news. But yeah, fair enough, Lucy. I'm just reading all of chat. You guys are funny. Writing the tweet longer now. Yeah, Bonnet is an actual recolor. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a positive equivalent to the. Oh no! Anyway, because I feel like if we can like, okay, cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm getting a bit of a headache, and I kind of need to go get a drink and stuff. So I think I'm gonna head off for now.
That's okay. The stream's coming to a close soon.
Okay.
But thanks, Tash. Is there anything else you want to say that we didn't talk about?
Nothing's springing to mind. I just want to say thank you for having me. This has been a pleasure. It's been really fun.
Thanks
and
for being
Lucy,
on,
we've
bro.
not spoken properly in ages. And Lucy,
Right? My God.
Lucy, you are Lucy. And Livy, I know I've not had a proper.
If you guys want to hang out off a
nice
stream, we can do that
stuff.
sometime. We can keep the group chat if you want.
Absolutely. But yeah. So thank you for having me. This has been a lovely few hours. A lovely afternoon.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Enjoy the rest of the stream, and I'll see you guys around.
Catch you later then. Bye bye, Tash. Have a good day. Alright. And then there were two. It's just like when we were doing FNaF 3 again. Do you know, I was just thinking the 3 on the menu screen could actually represent that this is the 3rd of my FNAF-a-thon live streams. We did FNaF 3, we've done Ultimate Custom Night, and now we're doing this location. Anyone want to like make guesses on which one's coming up next? I don't know. Alright. I'm gonna just throw some attempts at 1010. Maybe one day I will beat the max mode. I don't think it's gonna be today, although who knows, but it's definitely like one that's actually kind of fun to play, and it isn't like super stressful and annoying and repetitive like most max modes. But if I do, the thing is, guys, I would have to lock it in so much, it wouldn't be like a very entertaining stream. Like, it would probably, if I record it, it'd probably be like a no commentary video that would just be exactly the same as all of the other no commentary, like, max mode completions. So maybe it wouldn't be worth making a video on it anyway. Like, I'd hate to disappoint you guys and have the final thing left to do in the game for me to beat and actually do it and then never actually record it and stuff, but it requires focus that means I wouldn't even be commentating, so oh my god, dude.
Oh yeah,
Let's go
valid.
the way around. But yeah, I've never seriously considered it because it just doesn't interest me that much. I don't feel a need, and also, man, the FNAF fatigue. I've already been getting FNAF fatigue the last few days. Like, I've been playing too many FNAF games already, and it's like there's still a couple weeks to go before the anniversary, and it's like, I'm supposed to keep this up for like how many more weeks? Oh my goodness. It's all self-imposed, but yeah, it's my bad.
Yeah, that is kind of, you know, self-made
God,
misery.
it is self-made misery, and like the only reason I'm not focused enough to do this, guys. The only reason why I'm pushing through it instead of dropping it like over anything else is because I really value what this franchise has done for me over the years, and there is a good chance that after the 10th anniversary, I'm actually never coming back to this stuff. Like, I don't want to be doing this perpetually, and I feel like why not end on a high, you know, instead of just fizzling out. So there will be more fan game streams. There will be coverage of every one of those main, like, 7 and FNAF World. There's going to be a FNAF World stream. There's a couple things I've got to do afterwards, which I'm looking forward to, like FNAF World and Pizza Sim specific stuff that will be happening long after the anniversary. But yeah, by and large, like, I with Sister Location specifically, like, I don't really miss this game, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not like one of those games where I'm so tired of this, I have nothing to do with it. Like, it's always nice to come back to, but I don't have like quite a strong like feeling for it. I feel like it has some big strengths and big weaknesses for me, and it's a good game. I think it's a good standard for FNAF to aim for post Sister Location, like in terms of production values, story, gameplay. Like, there's a lot of do's and don'ts, which I think this game serves as a model for. It's maybe this is the perfect average of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, Lucy. Some people's criticism of this game is like, oh, this is what started the awful trend of FNAF becoming too kind of oriented to kids, having too much humor and being funny, being too cartoony and not serious and gritty enough. Like, people are saying, some people I know, one or two, have said that this is the culprit, not Security Breach, not Help Wanted. It was this game that really started that and kind of ruined the tone and the direction of the series.
I'm inclined to disagree with that.
Really?
Actually. Mainly because FNAF has always had a comedic edge to it, always. In the phone calls, in the overall jokes being made.
Yes.
there's always been humor in the game. I feel like a lot of people just forget about it really easily because the phone calls aren't as prominent. There's always been humor to all of this. There's always been this absurdist kind of vibe. Like, it's, in my opinion, it's a similar kind of humor to what Portal 2 has done, for example, where it's a lot of like, OSHA wouldn't approve of this kind of thing, you know? Like, where it's like all like very ethically questionable, but deliberately overplayed in a way that's meant to be funny. And I've always enjoyed that, and I feel like people forget that about all of the other games that have done this. Completely.
Absolutely.
And that's why they very
agree.
unfairly. That's why they very unfairly pin this on like the games that are a bit more overt about it, more like I guess in your face.
But this is the thing, because the humor in the Steel War games has been garbage. I feel like it had subtlety and meaning in Pizza Sim and Sister Location, but then after that, it just sort of like it's like Steel had read Scott Cawthon's book, but they didn't understand it. They just, like a generative AI, just sort of regurgitated the same vague kind of ideas without any of the kind of intent or purpose.
Yeah,
if you look at how tutorial units written in the later games, it's bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think in general, I feel like they both try too hard, but also, yeah, like you said, they missed the core essence of what made it work in the first place.
Yeah. But that's humor aside, though. Think of like the tone, the direction of like the target audience and the feeling of Security Breach and of the Help Wanted games. Did that start with Sister Location?
I don't think so. I feel like if anything, they tried to replicate what Sister Location succeeded at conveying. Like they tried to copy Sister Location, if anything, and then kind of failed.
Yeah. So yes and no. I think personally, I think it's very simplistic to say that like FNaF just becoming like a tonal disjointed mess and completely losing its sense of direction and target audience. Like, I feel like that is only really happened in a big way with the one game, Security Breach. I feel like Help Wanted was bad. But, yeah, it's like you say, I think that was an imitation. That was them relying too much on imitating what had come before.
Yeah.
And obviously, you could argue that Sister Location marked a shift where that became more overt. But I don't think it necessarily started here, because if you listen to the phone calls in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and you read the paychecks, there's already a hint of that style of humor, that flavor of kind of, you know, the tone not being too gritty and taking itself seriously all the time. I also think there's some funny, you know, voice lines in FNaF 3 especially.
Oh yeah.
But like, FNAF's always blended different kind of things together. I feel like up until UCN, it did a really good job of being basically a PG-13 horror. Like, yes, it had, you know, people hanged, and we could see those shadows cast on the wall. It's had, you know, corpses and blood, but it's always been obscured in some way. And it's never, with those 7 games, it never really tried to appeal to kids, I think. It just happened to, because although it was a horror, it was parodying something that was also designed for kids. So the character designs inherently drew attention from younger fans. And what you get is this really nice blend of things for teenagers interested in horror, for young people interested in horror, to kind of enter the genre with something that is, like, has an edge and will get pretty serious, but it's always very distant in the background, it's in these secrets. On the face of it, it's just a little spooky. Kind of like, you know, some episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, or, you know, some other, like, kid shows with those spooky elements. Even some Scooby-Doo episodes, honestly. There's a few weirdly scary, like, kids' TV show episodes out there. That's, like, a whole thing of, like, video essays on YouTube covering, like, the cancelled or, like, weird episodes of these shows that are spooky for no reason. And sometimes it's real and sometimes it's not, but it's all part of the fun, really. But yeah, it's subtle, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't waffle on. I've definitely said this kind of thing before. But yeah. Yeah, Mattbot was trying to imitate what made, like, Tutorial Unit funny, I think, or Hand Unit, whatever. They changed the name. Apparently it's called Dread Unit in one of the Steel War games. I don't understand what that's about. Yeah. Exactly, Creeper. Exactly. Yeah. I don't think we need to see them being friendly that much, though. That's, like, what's assumed. I don't feel like it's ever gotten to the point where you know, wouldn't, you know, imagine the animatronics to be friendly during the day, except for stuff like the nightmares, which, you know, doesn't really apply to. I've never had that. Yeah. But maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know. It's always interesting for you to imagine. I like how it's left the imagination to an extent, like what Freddy's would look like in the daytime with, you know, the original game. But also the sister location crew. Like, imagine these. I mean, we kind of see that in the trailer. You kind of get that in the trailer. You know, they don't, like, it's shown to an extent. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream soon. Honestly, guys, I don't feel like throwing attempts at 10-10. Like, this is a great mode, but, like, I don't know. What the hell? Let's do a few more. There's just so many things to track. Yeah, I think we've talked about pretty much everything anyways. I'm trying to think, because, like, I'm never streaming this game again unless I change my mind and make an exception. So, want to make sure we covered all bases. I guess the main thing I could say would be more about my initial experience with this game, because I remember it was like a summery day in October. Like, it was a pretty warm, pretty summery day for October. I don't immediately remember. I got stuck on night 4, as you do. Oh, I'm stupid. And the thing is, I was kind of stupid when I was younger, like, really stupid. Like, I didn't consciously really think that deeply about what I was seeing. Like, Sister Location did feel different, but I wasn't really hung up on, like, the storytelling style is different, and the, you know, the nuances in kind of, like, production here. That sort of, like, came out over the years. But I remember getting really into the theory game at the time, and starting to realize how the books were important, and I don't know. It was a fine time. What I remember more clearly was the period after Sister Location, because for me, that was a great time to be a FNaF fan. I think, like, from Sister Location Custom Night to the Dorco interview, like, the fandom was less toxic, the releases were more exciting.
Yeah, I think that was honestly peak hype.
Yeah. Yeah, it was peak. Oh my god. Yeah, but the build-up to Pizza Sim as well was really exciting. It was a good time. I remember, though, like, some people thought the series had ended on this, which was really strange. I figured there was at least one more game, even if it was distant, like, well in advance. And we did think Pizza Sim would be the last one for a little bit. But yeah, I think to me, like, Sister Location, I don't have a, despite its significance, like, historically, I don't have a particular soft spot or anything for it. I just, I recognize its kind of, like, importance. I've got pretty neutral feelings about it. I'm really glad it happened. If I were to make it, like, remake it, I would probably change a lot of things. But, yeah. I'm a critic of both the people who deride this game with their, like, modern standards, and also the people who got so obsessed with this game they forgot it was part of a series, not just its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was this one YouTuber who made, like, 10 songs about this one game. They really scraped the barrel. I think I misheard Freddy. Sorry, Lucy, were you saying something?
If I did, I forgot.
It's fine. I'm just waffling. He left. Sometimes being able to leave so fast.
I agree, Duncan. Duncan said, I just feel like FNaF needs to just kind of experiment more, not just as a genre with more, but in general.
Well,
I agree.
Do you know what? We've been talking so much about the past. Why not talk about the future for a bit? Because, Lucy, This is another opportunity for me to just talk to you, I guess, like we did in FNaF 3. So I don't know how much I really need to say, because we already talked extensively there about the things we needed to. But I don't know how much you're aware of the things happening in that first week of August. Or Scott Hawthorne's Twitter post. Yeah, guys, this is...
I did not pay any attention to that, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not focused enough for this.
And mainly, I just kind of don't care. It's to the point where I don't like the direction the franchise has been going anyways, and I've lost, I guess, my spark for it, if that makes sense.
Well, that's the thing. Unlike me, you've actually been able to just, like, quit FNaF, pretty much. And you're a long way away
I've
from
never
it now.
I've never been all that, like, deeply entrenched in the fandom itself. I've always done kind of my own thing. I posted art whenever I felt like it, but I never, like, followed other creators, or interacted with them all that much. So it was pretty easy for me to just stop looking it up.
To be fair, I wasn't that deep into the FNaF fandom until, like, a bit after Sister Location. I guess this is important for that reason, because, like, I didn't even start using Reddit at all till, like, 2021. But, I was aware of the Reddit, vaguely, and I was deep on the YouTube channels and the Steam forums, back in the old days. But, yeah, just because we spent so much... Because, again, guys, this is the whole thing about me revisiting this game. This is the whole point. We've gone back on these over and over and over so much. There's really just not much left to say. Everything I've said this stream, I've probably said before, if I'm being really honest. Like, it's all just repeated stuff that I just want to bring up one more time in case, you know, we never get that chance again. But, yeah, so, I'm just going to share my screen with you, just so you're aware, because maybe this won't interest you at all, and that's totally fine. But, as a reminder, guys, Scott Cawthon has made a Twitter account. He actually has a Twitter. Congrats. He's switched over from Reddit. This is a replacement. We got this new art, which looks pretty sick. But what was really exciting was this. There's a whole lineup of new FNaF things happening. This is like 2 years worth of content happening in a week. And the thing is, like, it's such a surprise. It's such a welcome surprise because it gives me something to do. It gives me something to look forward to for the first time in a long time. But it also gives me hope that FNaF will indeed experiment like it did with Sister Location, like it did with FNaF World. No, it's not always going to be successful. Not every game's going to be a hit. But this franchise needs to start taking risks again because it's kind of lost itself. And we're finally getting the payoff of things that have been years in the making. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's... Well, basically what we got here. My Pop Goes, not much to write home about. It's another Pop Goes spin-off. It's alright. This is the thing I'm most excited for. We're finally getting a demo for the Joy of Creation. What was going to be called Ignited Collection. I think it's now just the Joy of Creation. It's a full-on remake. Nixon finds a demo for us. It looks like a proper banger psychological horror game that is somehow even greater than the original. Like, it looks really scary, really exciting. And it's also, Lucy, they're dropping the whole storyline of it being Scott Cawthon and his family. It's just to the creator now. It's a lot more vague. So that weird part that hasn't aged well from T-Jock is being dropped. Everything else...
Nice! I like that.
There's a Steam page if you want to see it. You'd probably be too scared to even watch it because it's like very...
I might honestly I like the Joy of Creation enough as a creative effort to at least watch a gameplay once.
I'll send you the Steam page because it looks peak and I will be playing it on release. We know nothing about VIP. Maybe that'll be cool. I do like an interactive novel. We'll see. Don't care. Honestly wish I cared, but I don't because I'm gonna react to this live as soon as I can, but I'm not expecting... I have low expectations of this because I don't think it's gonna be anything like the original. I hope I'm wrong. Dorko's a nice guy, Scott Cawthon's a nice guy, but the last 5 years were not the same as the first 5. Just fundamentally.
It's been rough.
Yeah.
Like honestly, up to this day, I like you said, like FNaF needs to experiment more. I fully agree. Mainly because like before Security Breach dropped the like main trailers and teasers, where we actually saw, I guess, like footage of what the game would look like.
Yeah.
I really hoped they would do like a completely new cast, completely separate timeline, completely separate separate everything, and I'm so disappointed that they still decided to rehash all the same old shit, just now
Yeah.
free roam, but like poorly executed. It's just I really, really wish they had taken the risk and done something like completely separate.
Same.
That's still in the same vein as
remember...
stuff, but like, you know, not the same canon, not the same characters.
I remember, Lucy, when that February trailer dropped in 2021, before all the drama with Scott Cawthon retiring happened, how hyped you and I were for Security Breach. I remember being super excited with the trailer.
Yeah.
And then the October trailer came out, and despite being more, like, cinematic, I had no emotional register, and I was confused. I was like, why aren't I excited for this? This looks really, like, exciting. But I think I subconsciously knew at that time, even though I had no idea, I was clueless. I think at the time, something deep in me was saying, like, this is surface level, this is flashy with no substance. Because some people, actually, before the game released, were starting to predict, like, it was going to be this mess, based on, like, the graphics and what they'd seen in the more recent trailer. And I guess it had already been soured by the drama, but yeah, it's such a shame. And I don't want to, repeat history, so I'm not going to lean too hard into predictions and excitement, because I did that with FNaF Plus, and that got canned, so we'll never know now. But as well as this, which is probably just a Fortnite collab, apparently. Finally, no. FNaF collabing other games is long overdue, I think. They're making a game called 5 Laps at Freddy's. I've played a FNaF racing fan game called Fazcards, which was a bunch of fun. I'm hoping this is another Freddy in space that's just completely out there. FNaF does a racing game, like, like Mario Kart, and it's just got the characters, and it's not part of any canon or anything, and it's just for fun. I think that is exactly what FNaF needs right now. Like, every year, 1 or 2 games like this, which just try FNaF in a different genre, or take a twist on the original formula, without relying on, like, a big flagship game, especially not something too ambitious. And then we get into the pit.
Sorry, is it mean of me to hope that they don't fucking hire Pinky Pills or Lady Fist for this?
Not at all. Though they should never be hired again. They should Scott Cawthon needs to completely change how he hires people, because that's been the root of a lot of the issues in the last few years. Like, I know you probably haven't followed, and you probably don't know about this, but the FazBear fanverse is in tatters. Like, it's so dead. It's so unbelievably dead. It's really sad. Like, I'm just hoping that Emil, Mako, and the rest just quietly work on making these games absolute peak, and just have, like, a marketing campaign 3 months in advance and just release them. Because, it's been rough. But yeah, the last one is Into the Pit, which is... It basically just looks like a fairly linear kind of point-and-click adventure game based on the book. To be fair, it's a good story, and the game looks great. It's got a Steam page. It's, like, 8-bit, it's like 1632-bit pixel graphics. I think it's probably going to be kind of meh to actually play and replay in terms of the game mechanics, but I think the style and the presentation will make it good for an anniversary game, and I think maybe it'll be kind of, I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping it's good, but I really don't know. It's not being made by a studio that's worked with FNaF before. It's completely new. But yeah, it's a weird mix of things, and I don't know. I'm just hoping some of it's good, because there's a big opportunity here. Like, all of this could suck, but, like, I don't know, man. It would be nice to have not anything even that ambitious, just for FNaF to keep trying new things and kind of, rediscover itself. It's been such a long break between releases as well. They could probably get away with kind of redefining what FNaF is anyways. Like, they could totally get away with taking it in a direction that was in none of the previous games. But, yeah, it doesn't... I don't know. It's not my FNaF. Like, my time with FNaF has kind of ended, and that's okay. I've accepted that now. It's been so many years, Like, I'm not expecting the same feeling of when I played FNaF for the very first time in those original 7. I would never expect that again. That's a high expectation. Anyways, yeah, I won't go on, guys, because all of these streams as well, the fact I've chosen different collaborators, it's a chance for me to get their specific kind of perspectives on the same overall things as well. I'm going to wrap things up now because I'm getting hungry and I got things to do. And this was an important stream, so I'm really glad we were able to do it as planned.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. Maybe I'll come back to beat these sometime, but I don't think it'll be in a stream. I don't think it'll be on this channel. I don't think it'll be quite like this. No promises. I don't need to 100% complete these games. I've seen them. Although, experiencing the Springtrap cutscene for myself firsthand, oof, that would be something. Because I've never had that. Tempting. Anyways. That was his location. Alright. Before I go, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out the links in the description below. Today's charity shout-out goes to St. Jude, the Door Code charity stream staple. You probably all know. These guys research and treat children with cancer, and they share their studies all over the world. For the last, like, however many years, like 50, 60, I don't know how long they've been in operation, they've massively reduced cancer fatalities, and they're on their way to finding a cure. They do a whole lot of great work, so definitely check them out. Donate if you can. It's a fantastic cause. The only reason I haven't done a St. Jude's charity stream is because I didn't want to just copy Dorco, but now I'm tempted to, since those have been a thing on my channel for a while. I don't know. But yeah, I've tagged my collaborators in the description, and today's QOTD winner, I asked you guys, what is your favourite female FNaF character? I said what instead of who, guys. I said, what is your favourite female FNaF character?
SMH.
I objectified women, guys. Who? No, what? That thing? It? Them? The females? I'm a gamer. I don't even know what they look like. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you've never seen me.
Yeah, I will say, we didn't really get into this, but sexism in gaming is a real thing. I don't think it's really a big thing in FNaF. I feel like
Thankfully not, yeah.
I think it's partly because FNaF is a pretty queer fandom as far as kind of fandoms go. It's not like the Call of Duty fandom, you know? Which obviously is a different target audience.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. It's not like a very mainstream game like Assassin's Creed. You know, it's like the Assassin's Creed fandom, which I know nothing about, but I went to a lecture at my university about women in classical video games, and Assassin's Creed was one of this franchises detailed in that presentation. They talked about like 3 iterations of Cleopatra, and how some of them were kind of well researched, and most of them were awful, and the developers had the choice to make it more historically accurate, and they didn't even bother. But yeah. Creeper, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. I disagree that SB evoked that at all, though. Security Breach, first of all, it isn't even broken down in that game. There's no illusion about that. I think they maybe did that in Ruin, if that's what you're referring to. But the feeling of walking into, like, an abandoned pizzeria, oof. I mean, I think FNaF 1 is the only one that really captures that, just based on the environment. That's a pretty shallow way of looking at it, though. I think there's so much more to it. But yeah, I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of a FNaF game that's really done that, because they've kind of gone and done their own thing. I think maybe the first one. Anyways, today's QOTD winner. Pretty much any animatronic except Vanessa. She's not an animatronic, bro. Any animatronic except Vanessa, bruh. Sorry, go on.
I forgot.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Lucy, I'm talking over you.
Oop, that's fine.
Alright, you know what, guys? You know what? I already decided. These are great QOTDs. But I'm gonna give it to DJ, because Logbook Chica is such an obscure pick, and he had such a unique reasoning for it. Like, talking about the potential of that, and how much that single image we have of them, like, kind of evokes. Like, oh my goodness. Yes. DJ. Check out DJ's channel, guys. And if you don't know what Logbook Chica is, I'll just go find the image, since there is only one image in existence. At least officially. It's this thing. People have already made models of it, of course, but, okay, that's not working for some reason. But yeah, no, this is Logbook Chica. This was going to be in Pizza Sim, until it wasn't.
Ah.
Yeah.
That was interestingly obscure.
It was on the final page of the Freddy files, I believe. No, it was the survival logbook, the one where Michael's, like, written in it, and you've got, like, the phone guy, like, like post-it note and like all the ghostwriting, and it's like apparently that's where Golden Freddy's real name is, but it's like on the final page it had this, and it was released I think around the same time as Pizza Sim, and obviously it looks like one of the salvages from the pose and the kind of chair and the lighting. Oh, I'm curious how this would have worked. It was scrapped probably for lore reasons, but imagine if there was a FNaF 1 version of Ennard, with like the 4 of them all mangled together, like with like but in that style, or the 4 of them just this broken down. Kind of would have undermined FNaF 3, I think, in a big way. That would have been kind of unfortunate, but well, it never happened. So anyway, I've waffled on long enough. Lucy, is there anything else you want to say?
Nothing I know. No, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of stuff.
We have. Alright, guys. Well, that's it. Girls' Night. I should do this again. Doesn't have to be with Sister Location, but something with an all-female club. I think that'd be fun. FNaF 2 does have a Girls' Night. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And stay hydrated.